The girl is taken aback by something surprising, exclaiming her sense of surprise about the situation as she suddenly reacts. She mentions hiring a worker for assistance. In another scene, a young man displays unexpected skill as he focuses intently on peeling onions, showcasing his surprising proficiency in the task. The girl cautions, urgently signaling someone to stop rubbing their eyes, warning about the consequences of doing so after handling onions. She hesitates, then dismisses her initial concern with a nonchalant remark, inwardly noting the peculiar behavior of the young man, thinking how strange he is. Reflecting on the situation, she wonders about the young man's ability to peel onions without shedding a tear, contemplating his unusual resilience. The girl casually instructs the young man to peel another onion, continuing to engage him in the task as part of his work. Focus shifts to a basket filled with onions, as she continues to assign the peeling task, indicating there's more work to be done with numerous onions awaiting. The scene shifts to a field, where the girl fiercely questions another character, demanding an explanation before their supposed punishment is carried out. She accuses them of stealing potatoes meant to feed people, expressing her disbelief at their actions, calling them out for theft. Two men, seemingly confused, question the girl's accusations, wondering if she has lost her mind, incredulously contemplating her claims about the stolen potatoes. One man is held by another, and the first man questions further, challenging the notion of mocking potatoes as they are confronted. The girl, wielding a tool, demands for the return of stolen items, an expression of determination on her face, as the thieves finally concede to her demands. The thieves, unsure and intimidated, hastily assure her that they have returned everything, asking if their transaction is now complete. With a cheerful demeanor, she corrects them, stating there's still the need to pay for the fertilizer, maintaining levity despite the situation. She humorously suggests that those unable to pay should leave their clothes behind, playfully pointing out their predicament. The thieves, bewildered and uncertain, react to her suggestion, left speechless by the unexpected demand. Laughter fills the air as the girl finds humor in the situation, waiting for them to comply, with no trace of anger on her face. As the thieves flee in panic, she confidently dismisses them, embracing her perceived madness with humor, all while warning them not to return. With fierce determination, she promises severe consequences should they attempt theft again, reinforcing her earlier threat with intensity. As she watches them disappear, she dismissively considers the event a joke, bemused by the idea of potato thieves, expressing disbelief. Collecting the remaining potatoes, she muses about the absurdity of thieves targeting something as simple as potatoes, pondering their motives. Walking away, she sighs at the day's events, expressing mild exasperation at the unusual occurrence. In a reflective moment, she thinks about the hardships following a lost war, acknowledging that it has been 3 years since that significant event. She continues reflecting on the lasting effects, such as high taxes and people losing their livelihoods, considering the widespread impact. Strange rumors have begun to circulate, adding a layer of mystery and uncertainty to the already challenging situation. These rumors involve a notorious figure in armor, accused of murder and hoarding treasures, creating unease and fear in the community. Picking up potatoes, she dismisses the idea they were merely after food, suspecting a greater motive tied to treasure amidst the circulating rumors. Despite suspicions, she concludes that their farmland holds no hidden riches, just fertile soil, and reflects on the simple reality. The scene shifts to a bustling village, where Anna's restaurant stands among the activity, marking her place within the community. As the girl arrives with a bag of potatoes, she questions the overwhelming amount she brought, contemplating her next steps in the busy environment. A red-haired male turns abruptly with a clenched fist and seems surprised while surrounded by 2 others. The caption urges them to wait. Anna appears frustrated, questioning why there is a fight outside her restaurant. She unexpectedly encounters several individuals outside her establishment, causing her concern. The red-haired male points accusingly, expressing his distrust toward another character, stating that the person is suspicious and nonsensical. Anna attempts to defuse the situation by stating that she will handle it. She internally questions the man's silence, who seems intent on guarding an object or place. Anna finds herself pondering. A bear appears in her thoughts, leading to confusion. Looking at the man with the cloak, Anna notices how gaunt he seems. His hollow cheeks evoke a sense of curiosity and concern. Continually gazing at him, Anna acknowledges to herself how sad his appearance seems, prompting empathy. Amidst bubbling thoughts, someone comments in frustration about Anna's tendency to take in strays, intending to care for them. The group stands in confrontation. As the focus shifts to the kneeling cloak-wearing man, someone calls out, possibly trying to get attention. Anna invites the man to her restaurant for a meal. She mentions finding some potatoes while coming here. The man seems determined, expressing he needs something other than food. Attempting to persuade, Anna insists on offering a free meal, encouraging the man to join her to eat. Her insistence suggests she is genuinely concerned. She hands over a potato, reiterating her earlier statement about finding them on her way here, perhaps as an olive branch. The man looks at her quietly, understanding that if the potatoes remain uneaten, Anna would discard them. Her determination to feed someone in need is apparent. Anna, with her arms full of potatoes, emphasizes the importance of sharing them. Meanwhile, she confirms with firmness, expecting compliance from the man. The scene opens with the description of a magician's tone, described as being as soft as a lullaby, setting a mystical and soothing atmosphere. A mysterious figure in a robe, with a gentle touch, states a magical connection that will transfer a dragon's power. The narrative shifts to a character holding a majestic sword aloft, conveying the idea of exchanging a dragon's bone for courage and resolve. The transformation process continues, emphasizing that the dragon's bones will become the heart of the one chosen, signifying an unbreakable bond. A scene shows a mystical pen, seemingly enchanted, hinting at the beginning of an important task or spell lined with vibrant energy. A message hovers with an air of foreboding, warning that the prince will lose the ability to cry from that point forward, impacting his emotions. The voice addresses the prince, reminding him that even during solemn occasions like a funeral, he will not be able to shed tears. Further emphasizing the consequence, the narrative explains that no tears will appear in the prince's eyes, not even during deeply moving events. The prediction concludes ominously, foretelling that others will perceive the prince as a monster due to his inability to express sorrow. The prince makes a significant choice to abandon his emotions for the sake of his nation and steps into the battlefield, marking a turning point in his life. 6 years pass, and ultimately, the war ends in defeat with the young men, including the prince, never returning home, leaving a lasting impact. The country faces a grim reality, struggling with the despair that follows the conclusion of the war and the consequences the prince left behind. To quell the unrest, Duke Seidel assumes the throne, becoming a stabilizing force for the crumbling kingdom. Despite the prince shedding no tears even at the king's funeral, his dispassion becomes his undoing, as he loses his place in the line of succession. Viewed now as a monster consumed by his sword, the prince's previous reputation is replaced by fear and misunderstanding. The prince turns into a symbol of the war's horrors, becoming a source of unrest for Duke Seidel, who sees him now as a burden. To ease tensions, the decision is made to distance the prince from state matters temporarily, providing a period of reprieve. Unexpectedly, this results in the prince receiving a lengthy leave of absence, ushering in a significant change in his circumstances. Sitting somewhere, Bertram considers the idea of food waste, perhaps prompted to address some unseen concern or conflict. A cheerful girl encourages Bertram to come along, suggesting a moment of lightheartedness and camaraderie. Bertram, along with the girl and an older man, exchanges words, the situation punctuated by a simple ellipsis, hinting at an unfolding interaction. Observing Bertram's height, an astonished group comments on his size, contributing a moment of comic relief to the scene. A bystander humorously contemplates Bertram's size, joking about using him as a makeshift door, with emphasis on his imposing stature. There's a moment of anticipation as Bertram sits with a drink offered to him, the question of its taste hanging in the air, inviting curiosity. The cheerful girl reveals she brought bacon, adding levity and a touch of normalcy to the scene as they share a meal. She notices Bertram's silence while eating, wondering about his thoughts as he consumes the food she prepared. After some time, the girl is shocked to discover the plates completely emptied, leaving her in disbelief at the quick consumption. In surprise, she questions Bertram about his rapid eating, introducing herself as Anna amidst the conversation. Anna explains her dual role as the manager of the village farm and owner of the restaurant, revealing her connection to the community. She happily inquires about Bertram's enjoyment of the meal, eliciting a simple affirmative response, completing the exchange on a positive note. A cheerful Anna comments on the good nutrition she provided, reflecting on her efforts and dedication. Curious and a bit defensive, Anna questions what the man means by his words, asserting that she fed him well despite feeling unlucky. Anna finds the document handed to her dirty, as it wasn't completed on the proper form, but acknowledges it as legally binding guidance for repayment after the war. Astonished, Anna clarifies if the document she received is a promissory note, to which the man confirms, explaining it was written on leftover paper due to constraints. Confused, Anna wonders why this important document is being given to her, pondering its significance and implications. Shocked, Anna realizes the person mentioned in the document is her father, Hans Bert, and the man expresses relief at finding the right person, inquiring about his whereabouts. Somberly, Anna informs the man that her father passed away a few years ago, leaving an air of silence between them as they process the information. Optimistically, Anna assures the man it's okay and vows to take responsibility in her father's place, curious about the kind of item it concerns. Puzzled by the formality, Anna ponders the necessity of condolences and clarifies that the lost item needs repayment for its value, originally intending to resolve it with her father. The man presents her with an item, inquiring if she recognizes it, which leads Anna to guess it might be an onion, although uncertain. The man firmly states that while it resembles an onion, it's actually a special bulb for farming, emphasizing its importance while negating her assumption. Concerned, Anna questions the man about the item's relevance, admitting ignorance, and he echoes her sentiment, not recognizing its necessity. Deep in thought, Anna acknowledges that they genuinely don't need the item, contemplating its true value and worth. The man kindly advises that there's no need for repayment, easing some of the tension hanging between them. Anna reassures him not to feel burdened, but the man insists on repayment, prompting her to continue the conversation actively. Hesitant, Anna admits the item isn't something they need and awkwardly suggests sharing a meal instead, questioning if she seems untrustworthy to him. Defensive, Anna clarifies her intentions, encouraging the man to specify the desired repayment, determined to resolve the issue peacefully. With intensity in her eyes, Anna emphasizes her commitment to meeting the repayment amount the man proposes. The man, catching her attention, tries to address her indirectly, prompting Anna's curiosity about his intentions. Firmly, Anna questions if her tone appears like she's negotiating, underscoring her seriousness in addressing the man's demands. The man challenges Anna, dismissing her intentions and asserting that they hold no weight in the current situation. Frustrated, Anna demands the man to simply state the amount so she can fulfill it as requested, feeling overwhelmed by the situation's absurdity. Trying to ease the mood, the man advises Anna not to feel pressured, inadvertently making her more annoyed at the given circumstances. Resigned yet determined, Anna passionately offers to repay the perceived debt with her body, surprising herself and the man with her declaration. The boldness of Anna's offer catches the man off guard, leaving an undeniable tension in the air as he processes her unexpected proposition. Anna is described as unnecessarily good-hearted, having once helped many wounded soldiers who were left behind after the war. She had never met the soldiers, but they found their way to her, seeking refuge under the shade of a tree. The words "after the war" hang heavily in the air as a new character calls out, inviting them to their restaurant. Anna joyfully announces the promise of free food, her smile bright and welcoming, suggesting her generous spirit. Through her kindness, Anna fed the soldiers and gave them farm work. This allowed them to recover and eventually find a way back to their hometowns. Some even decided to settle in the village, drawn by Anna's warm influence, and a man cheerfully waves goodbye while Anna continues spreading her kindness. Dito speaks, explaining that the village only hired outsiders during times of need, like after the war. Dito advises Anna not to bring in more outsiders as there are now enough workers in the village, hinting at a growing concern. Frustrated, Dito questions Anna's decision to take in another man from the street, feeling he might be going crazy with her actions. Overcome with emotion, Dito yells that she should be wary of husband-to-be people. It is revealed he is Anna's childhood friend. Others observe Dito's behavior, wondering what's wrong as he vocalizes his frustrations yet again. Dito ponders if it's too soon to talk about anything related to being a husband, displaying his conflicted feelings. After some thought, Dito resolves to change his wording to something less personal, determined to adjust his viewpoint. With urgency, Dito calls out to Anna, trying to express his concerns directly to her. Anna is surprised to see Dito, who directly asks if she has picked up another beggar, showing his disbelief. Dito tells a man shrouded in a cloak that Anna takes in people simply because they look pathetic, indicating his frustration. Dito anxiously questions Anna about their safety, while she is puzzled by his concerns. Anna, with a tired demeanor, wonders if Dito's true intention was to pick a fight, prompting his anxious response. Dito stutters, explaining he was there because he was free, as Anna introduces a new restaurant worker, prompting a casual invitation to say hello. Anna warmly tells Dito to meet Bertram, the new worker, but Dito seems uneasy about the situation. Dito internally questions if Bertram resembles a dog, indicating a mix of surprise and skepticism. Introducing himself nervously, Dito reveals he's the son of the seamstress and childhood friend of Anna. Bertram introduces himself too, humorously mentioning his distant debt connection with Mr. Hans. Confusion arises when Anna associates Bertram's name with a memory, while Dito recalls encountering many with the same name, highlighting how common it is. Dito, frustrated by the situation, exclaims that his name is indeed common, revealing his irritation. Shocked, Dito questions the idea of being in debt with Mr. Hans, insisting it's impossible as Anna sees humor in his protest. In a huff, he insists Mr. Hans could have lent nothing, leaving an exclamation that echoes in the space. Anna and another confront Bertram, asserting he possesses an ID, urging him to confirm this. Bertram candidly admits he has a body to prove it, hinting at some form of identity or presence that assures them. Anna jokes that confirming identity is like peeling onions, leaving Dito puzzled by her analogy. Dito questions why the analogy must involve onions, to which Anna laughingly responds that Bertram excelled at such tasks. Turning the conversation light, Bertram offers some onion soup, presenting it gracefully while Dito watches, curiosity piqued. The man questions if there is anything else, mentioning onion sour. Bertram is left to peel the onions, but he doesn't shed a tear and does it well. As the task progresses, a female character is amazed by how many onions there are and keeps questioning him about it. Another character finds the situation interesting, albeit uncertainly. She's impressed with someone who hasn't peeled onions before, wondering aloud who would marry someone like her, who talks a lot. Bertram jokes that only a kind-hearted person like him would marry her. She reacts by chiding him not to lick the plate. The female character offers to give more, but another character says they are full and don't need more. She wonders if the food was so good that the plate got licked despite fullness. Sitting around a table, Bertram explains that he licked the plate because dishes are hard to wash if they dry up. The male character volunteers to clean up, leading Bertram and the female character to exchange a look of surprise. Bertram comments on the man's large hands, concerned if it might cause the dishes to break, while the female character insists they should trust him. Despite agreeing to trust him, Bertram finds the man a bit strange, particularly noticing his arm. The man walks away, revealing his arm covered with scars upon closer inspection. Bertram ponders that the man must have been through a lot and wouldn't avoid peeling onions because of it, suggesting he was hurt in the war. However, he hesitates and wonders if the scars were really from the war, leading to a moment of silent contemplation. Dito wonders if the man is a criminal who escaped during the war, while Fem casually tells him that's not important. Fem asks Dito if he knows how to peel potatoes with a spoon, offering the basket for him to start peeling. Dito protests, saying there are workers for peeling potatoes. Fem explains that Bertram's hands are too big, causing him to cut them in half. Fem adds that the potatoes Dito peels fit perfectly in his hands, a playful compliment coming from her. Fem then cheerfully asks Dito if he has finished with the dishes, as he enjoys a snack at the table. The scene is set at Taka's restaurant, described to not have a sign yet big enough to serve an entire battalion. The plot goes back in time, showing soldiers gathered, illustrating how the location transformed post-war. Fem stands at the entrance of the storage area, a serene look while a woman seems to be putting something away. An older woman, shrouded in a cloak, asks Fem if she has seen her son, her voice urgent and worried. Fem, surprised by the question, realizes she must help the woman find her missing son. The older woman lingers at the doorway, wondering aloud where her son could have gone. A soft, comforting message encourages someone to let her know once they finish the soup. Fem comments on the excessive onions in the soup, while the older woman reluctantly eats, and Dito dryly notes that people might even eat dirt soup-free. Outside the inn, which has a simple sign, someone reflects on a meal that was good. Fem gently holds the old woman's hands, promising to help find her son if she doesn't dig up the ground. Fem is determined to find the son before the military gets involved, showing her concern for the situation. Fem asks Bertram if he could sweep inside, to which he agrees without hesitation. Fem is reminded of the old woman's missing son, the concern evident in her expression as she thinks. She asks Bertram whether he knows where the old woman's son is, and he hesitantly admits he doesn't know. Fem accuses Bertram of lying, suspecting there's more to the story than he's letting on. Bertram confesses he had no choice but to lie, fearing the woman would dig until her fingers bled. Dito learns the woman excavates the ground searching for her son, missing since the war. Bertram reveals the son was last seen in combat nearby before contact was lost, lamenting the sad tale. Fem curiously questions Bertram's ability to discern sadness in someone else's story. Bertram explains that while he understands sadness, he can't feel it himself anymore. Fem is puzzled, wondering if Bertram's inability to feel emotions could mean something deeper. She cautiously inquires if Bertram sustained any head injuries during the war that might have impacted him. Bertram reflects on the numerous injuries he sustained, admitting he likely hurt his head as well. Fem pieces together Bertram's lack of visible emotion, concluding why he doesn't show anger or happiness. Surprised, Bertram turns to Fem after her realization. She apologizes if she was too blunt. Anna reflects on the many people in the village who were injured because of the war, mentioning how some, despite the sadness of head injuries, end up smiling. She continues, noting how some physically fine people can no longer speak, hinting at Mr. Bertram, who seems lost in thought. Anna wonders if Mr. Bertram might be one of those affected by the war. She then asks him if he got hurt during the war, showing concern. Mr. Bertram, holding a wooden pole, tells Anna that he got hit in the face while resisting the village conscription, making Anna laugh at the memory. He explains that after breaking his nose, he almost lost his sense of smell, indicating how it affected his daily experiences. Anna, with a gaze at Mr. Bertram, suggests maybe that's why her cooking doesn't taste as good to him anymore, wondering about the difference. She jokes about being too honest for a restaurant owner but warns him about not liking her food. Her playful attitude lightens the conversation. Mr. Bertram, standing in a dimly lit room, says he'll pretend it's delicious from now on, though he admits he can't taste it. He tells Anna he was being honest, but he notices that it seems to have upset her, possibly because of his honesty. Mr. Bertram expresses regret for his lack of consideration, saying it should not have hurt her. Anna listens to his apology, understanding that it's late but appreciating his acknowledgement. She considers how quick Mr. Bertram is with apologies but notes his difficulty in reading the room. This makes her think there's something different about him compared to other villagers. Anna speculates whether Mr. Bertram could be a fallen noble due to the war and compares it to how he carries himself. Contemplating the possibility, she seems unsure but finds it plausible based on the way he speaks. Anna ponders how Mr. Bertram's words give off a noble air while observing a red-haired woman enter the room. Suddenly, the woman bursts into the room, calling out Anna's name with urgency and a hint of frustration. Anna, shocked, addresses the woman as Mom, questioning if she picked up another beggar, referring to Mr. Bertram. Her mother is exasperated, scolding Anna for not heeding her advice against nobles while questioning her judgment. Carla Britt, Anna's mother, stands assertively, expressing her disapproval with a basket of goods in her hand, displaying a protective nature over Anna. Carla demands an explanation from Anna for her actions, showing a strict demeanor. Anna exclaims that the man is right there, pointing out the current situation. Mr. Bertram remains silent while Carla evaluates him with a critical eye, contemplating the unexpected scenario. Ultimately, they stand facing each other. Mr. Bertram politely greets Carla, formally acknowledging her presence while Anna looks a bit caught in the middle. The scene opens with a man, a woman, and Anna sitting at a table. Carla invites them to enjoy the meal, humbly admitting her kids' cooking skills are a bit lacking, and thanks them for their kindness. 1. Anna expresses concern, suggesting their guest might not be an easy person to deal with. Carla wonders what kind of person he actually is. 2. The man introduces himself, revealing he is Anna's mom, Carla. 3. Carla, smiling warmly, confirms that the man is here to pay off his debt to her husband. He agrees with a simple confirmation. 4. Carla playfully refers to her husband's caricature as a troll-like onion person, clarifying the identity of the creditor. The man admits the drawing is accurate, but insists he is not an onion. 5. The perspective shifts to an overhead view of the table. Carla tells the man to eat and leave, indicating that he doesn't need to pay back the debt. He questions if he should leave, and Carla firmly insists that he should. 6. Carla explains that after her husband passed away, she inherited all his property and debts. She reassures him he doesn't have to repay it and asks him to leave. 7. The man mentions the burden of a big debt. Carla, concerned, asks if he has plans to repay it. Anna interjects, asking Carla about the significance of the debt. 8. Carla appears thoughtful, stating that if he needs to, he should pay it back. The man looks steadfast while Carla's expression becomes intense, hinting at deeper feelings. 9. Carla identifies the man as the one they need. Her intent gaze leaves no room for doubt. 10. Anna, taken aback, pleads quietly. Approaching footsteps imply an interruption. 11. A group of men confronts the man, but he stands tall and resolute. The tension in the scene is palpable. 12. A battle-worn man recalls the unforgettable meals shared. He acknowledges the threatening atmosphere for women and advises against unnecessary hostility. 13. The man insists that neither Anna nor Carla is scared of him, indicating a failed conversation attempt. 14. Anna is urged by a customer to pay the man and let him go, causing confusion. The man stands firm on repaying his debt, but Anna is told to stop it immediately. 15. The elder warns the man that his presence may scare away other customers, hinting at the disruption he causes. 16. With a firm tone, the elder adds that Anna may lose business for the day due to his intimidating presence. 17. Carla, moved by his sincerity, offers him a pouch of money, observing he is convinced. The gesture appears genuine and significant. 18. Carla informs the man that the pouch contains wages for his work, urging him to let go of debt talk. The emotional exchange underscores her determination. 19. Carla, looking earnest, suggests consulting her deceased husband in the afterlife if the man remains troubled. She urges him to stop worrying and leave. 20. As the man hesitates, he contemplates looking for work elsewhere, potentially hinting at a farewell. Carla seems resigned. 21. Anna and Carla exchange worried glances, a quiet yet impactful moment passing between them. 22. A softly lit room prompts unanswered questions. Motherly instincts clash with underlying fears. 23. Carla confronts Anna, questioning her intentions on helping the man. She demands an explanation about her perspective. 24. In a raw outburst, Anna accuses the man of potentially being a dangerous deserter, citing his scars and daunting presence as evidence. 25. Overcome by emotion, Carla reminisces the harshness of war and the burdens it left, barely containing her feelings. 26. Anna, confused and concerned, asks her mother if discussing the war is still necessary, considering it has ended. 27. Carla emphasizes the lasting impacts of war injuries. She hopes for peace, yet its shadows linger, unsettling both women. 28. Carla, deep in thought, shares empathy. She understands Anna's worries but stresses finding balance. 29. Carla jokes gently about feeding the needy in the restaurant. Anna affirms her choice, hinting at familial resolution. 30. A woman warns her daughter not to start dating someone just because she picked him up. The daughter laughs loudly, finding the idea of dating amusing and funny. The daughter asks her mom, who does she see her as? And her mom responds that she sees her as someone who picks up and takes care of a dangerous man. The daughter insists that the guy isn't her type, saying he is too big. She admits she felt pity when she first saw him. Her mom points out that it is scariest when things start with a feeling of pity. Jokingly, the mom says if she feeds her daughter once, she might become unable to live without her, sharing the same table, and the daughter responds that he doesn't seem like her food. The mom remarks that her daughter never listens and warns her not to say things she'll regret later while crying. Surprised, the daughter notices a mountain of peeled onions and questions who could have done it. A man holds a book, contemplating whether it has the answers he seeks. Someone asks if the prince is in pain. A mysterious figure, cloaked in blue, says they cannot lift the curse but know how to ease the pain, advising the prince to pay all his debt. The figure assures that by doing so, the prince will have a clue. The man silently considers that this will end if he pays his debt before someone else gets hurt. He resolutely concludes that he can never walk away. A man inquires if the stranger wearing a dark cloak is Mr. Bertram, calling out to him in the night as they stand against a dimly lit sky. The group of villagers addresses Mr. Bertram, questioning if he's the one they spoke to earlier, while someone comments hesitantly from the back about the situation. Mr. Bertram seems to come to an understanding, acknowledging what he sees, as the villagers converse behind him, seemingly relieved or amused. One villager boldly admits to overhearing a conversation about debts at the restaurant, questioning why Mr. Bertram remains in the village despite that. Mr. Bertram reflects on Carla's words about his presence not being needed and reveals he plans to discuss the debt again at sunrise. A voice questions if he's not leaving the village, to which he simply replies with a resolute no. Observing Mr. Bertram's stubbornness, a villager assumes he hasn't eaten, suggesting that he might be starving since he was kicked out of the restaurant. Mr. Bertram calmly states he intends to go hunting, maintaining his poise under the moonlit sky. The villagers are puzzled by his intention to hunt, doubting if there is any prey, while he reasons that the forest nearby should suffice for his needs. Mr. Bertram, holding livestock, asks to borrow a few, leaving the villagers astounded by his boldness. Curious about Mr. Bertram's plan, the villagers huddle, deciding they will follow his lead and see where it takes them. The villagers try to dissuade Mr. Bertram from night hunting, suggesting an alternative by offering to show him how to find food easily. Mr. Bertram instructs them to follow him, taking the lead in the situation with determination. The villagers, finding themselves unable to sway him, observe Mr. Bertram's unwavering demeanor, noting that he won't be easily moved. Mr. Bertram agrees to refrain from hunting, seemingly compromising with the villagers. Instead of hunting, Mr. Bertram asks the villagers to show him where he can find food and a place to stay. The villagers acknowledge his strength wouldn't be easily contested, though they respond affirmatively to his request. One villager hands Mr. Bertram a biscuit, advising him to pair it with mushrooms growing nearby, enjoying the taste together. Mr. Bertram, with gratitude, accepts the biscuit, and the villager directs him to an abandoned building where he can spend the night. Wishing him well, the villager bids farewell, with Mr. Bertram assuring them of meeting again the next day. The villagers, pondering among themselves, try to make sense of the unusual situation, questioning the presence of Mr. Bertram's campfire in the forest. A girl mentions preparing a soup using onions, intending to eat it over 3 days. Discussing the onion soup, the red-haired woman calculates it would take about 3 days to finish given the amount. The girl complains about the overwhelming onion smell, yearning to rid herself of it, while the red-haired woman quips about peeling too many. A man advises Anna that the intake is more than sufficient, mentioning the traditional belief of onions being beneficial for hair. Anna is overwhelmed by the remaining quantity of onion stew, seemingly concerned about its excess. A faint light flickers in the night as someone reflects on giving food to everyone they've encountered. The young girl, puzzled, wonders who could be lighting a fire in the mountains at such an odd hour. The thoughts drift toward possibilities of the fire's origin, considering if it could be bandits or something else. The young girl realizes it's Mr. Bertram and greets him warmly while he sits by the fire, acknowledging her presence. Anna is surprised to see Bertram cooking by the campfire. She remarks on his unexpected ability to cook, and he explains that he is merely making the ingredients safe to eat. Bertram is surprised by the recognition and mentions that he didn't expect to be seen doing something like this. Anna responds, impressed, acknowledging Bertram's capabilities. He expresses his willingness to do anything to repay a debt. Anna acknowledges his skill and asks if he could help with the remaining onion soup, as there seems to be a lot left. Bertram presents the soup, asking Anna to try it, having fixed it as she requested. Anna seems confused about what he's referring to. Bertram explains that she wanted the tasteless soup to be better, right? Anna clarifies that she just wanted to finish up the leftover soup, not spice it up. Bertram quietly acknowledges the misunderstanding, while the campfire crackles between them. Anna internally notes that she wouldn't be hurt if he refused, recalling that Bertram claimed he doesn't feel emotions. She's puzzled by his demeanor. Anna wonders why her father got involved with someone like Bertram, questioning his lack of typical emotional responses. Observing Bertram, she concludes that he seems like someone unlikely to easily fall into debt, adding to her confusion. Anna asks Bertram if he's full after the meal. He simply responds that he is not. Anna accuses him of lying, noticing he's slowing down. She insists he should stop worrying about unnecessary things. Reflecting, Anna thinks that a person who doesn't waste food is generally good, as she watches him eat. Anna decides to finish the soup herself since she was the one who served it to him. Bertram thanks her, accepting her offer. As Anna tastes the soup, she's surprised and finds it quite good, expressing her delight. The soup's spiciness pleasantly surprises her, and she thanks Bertram for the compliment on his cooking. He appreciates her kind words, acknowledging it was delicious. Despite the deliciousness, Anna feels a bit uneasy, perhaps from the spices, and asks Bertram if he has somewhere to stay for the night. Bertram mentions he's used to camping and sleeping outdoors. Anna points out that the villagers mentioned an abandoned building nearby where they can stay. Anna is concerned about the abandoned building since it's rumored to be haunted. She worries about the implications of staying in such a place. Bertram asks if Anna is heading home. As she ponders his question, she seems a bit distracted or thoughtful. Bertram inquires again if Anna is all right, noticing her unusual behavior. She starts to laugh, seemingly amused by something. Anna bursts into laughter, unable to contain herself. Bertram watches, slightly puzzled by her sudden outburst. Bertram is slightly confused by Anna's laughter and tries to understand what's amusing her. Meanwhile, an ornamental object lies nearby, unnoticed. Anna appears concerned as she listens to the man apologizing sincerely, showing his regret with a gentle touch on her shoulders. But then laughter erupts from somebody nearby. Anna, frustrated and upset, wonders aloud if apologizing is truly sufficient, expressing her annoyance with a sarcastic, "Geez." Tears well up in Anna's eyes as she hears her name softly called again. The man, seeking a pause, politely asks for a moment. Anna is unexpectedly lifted off the ground by the man, her shock evident. Meanwhile, laughter echoes from a distance, mingled with shouts of surprise. As she hangs over his shoulder, Anna's view catches a glimpse of the man winking confidently. Her sly smile suggests a hidden camaraderie between them. The night sky, illuminated by a full moon, seems to question the odd events unfolding at this late hour. Two men discuss their concerns about Anna, wondering why they were summoned. One speculates if it's the wolves causing trouble. Someone reflects on Anna's situation, noting that the man worries about her since she apparently lacks any personal concerns, hinting at her bold nature. Alarmed by the appearance of something, Anna stands on guard, holding a lamp. A startled man cries out at seeing a wolf, creating chaos around them. The mysterious man is the center of attention, recognized immediately by someone in the group. His presence raises questions. A debate ensues among the group members, questioning the man's identity. They wonder if he could be a deserter or criminal seen with Anna. Dieter hesitates, offering an excuse about yawning, as a strange sort of curiosity about the man hangs in the air. Dieter is playfully chided for his reaction, while being pressed to remain silent about it. A menacing wolf approaches, its presence looming ominously in the background. The group contemplates the lone wolf's behavior, deciding someone should alert others to the potential danger. Confusion ensues as the men, holding a lantern, strain to comprehend the situation unfolding before them. The mysterious man hastily carries Anna away, urgency evident in his stride, as if escaping unseen threats. Two men are left puzzled, one calling out Anna's name in desperation, trying to understand what's happening. Conflicting emotions arise as concerns for an unknown entity emerge alongside Anna's disappearance. Images flash by, depicting an emotional family history, evoking memories linked to Anna's current dilemma. From inside a warmly lit house, a calm environment is interrupted by a sudden knock, followed by the entrance of a woman. The man offers a polite greeting, interrupted by Anna's tentative greeting as recognition spreads across her face. Awkward silence descends as everyone looks at each other, puzzled, wondering why attention is fixed on them. Anna calls out to her mom. Anna addresses her mom, bewildered by Bertram's presence. Her mom explains humorously how Anna's actions last night led to this encounter. Anna is escorted by her mom, feeling embarrassed about the prior night's events. Meanwhile, Bertram remains respectfully quiet in the background. A brief moment of realization and connection passes between Anna and Bertram, each acknowledging the shared experience with a knowing glance. Bertram raises his finger to highlight something important, which surprises Anna, eliciting an eager response from her. Anna admires Bertram's gesture with a genuine smile, inwardly noting the mystery surrounding this man she can't quite figure out. Outside, a well-maintained shop grabs attention, the sign revealing it as Taylor's Tailoring Shop. Inside, two women discuss the quality and cost of a shirt, intrigued by the owner's identity, hinting that it might belong to the mysterious man. A red-haired woman contemplates if a certain man is a noble, noting his demeanor as commandant and suggesting they should address it before any trouble arises. Expressing her disdain, the woman vehemently states her inability to tolerate those who disrupt the village, vowing never to let it happen again and urging the thought of getting rid of him, while another woman is excited about Anna being a future daughter-in-law. The red-haired woman is skeptical about someone named Dieter and questions if he truly believes Anna would find his son appealing. With determination, A woman confidently declares her intention to make Anna her daughter-in-law, telling the red-haired woman to just watch. Anna feels her ears itch and wonders if someone is talking about her, while she's occupied with a task. Anna, surprised and annoyed, reacts dramatically when someone brushes dust off her face, accusing him of trying to kill her, suggesting that dealing with onions would have been less aggressive. She demands space, telling him to stay away, while he inquires about the duration he should maintain this distance. Anna hesitates and suggests at least 4 hours, but then insists he shouldn't have touched her in the first place, dismissing the notion as nonsense. Comparing their interaction to conversing with a wall, Anna acknowledges that despite the interaction challenges, there has been a noticeable improvement. Meeting someone's gaze, Anna recalls expecting to be a princess and struggles inwardly with societal perceptions. The conversation turns to her asking about being open for business. Embarrassed and second-guessing her actions, Anna reluctantly wonders about how to handle the unexpected query about her business. Anna enthusiastically greets a customer, displaying warmth and excitement as she welcomes them. Beaming with joy, Anna inquires about the customer's preferences, who teases her excitement over something as ordinary as a decent lunch. Amidst light-hearted banter, the customer questions Anna about an unusual individual spotted last night, sparking curiosity and suspicion. Anna defensively insists it's a routine occurrence and questions why it seems suspicious, though she admits, almost grudgingly, that the individual in question is quite attractive. Anna is overwhelmed by the height of a man, exclaiming she can't even see his face properly due to his size. The man laughs heartily and advises her to enjoy herself while she can, now that she has found a handsome one. The man suggests that when it comes to marriage, Anna should choose someone dependable like Dieter, leaving her surprised. He continues, stating that while good looks matter when one is young, someone from home is preferable as they age. Anna silently processes his words. Anna is frustrated by this repetitive marriage talk, thinking to herself how tiresome it is. Internally, she questions how long they will keep trying to pair her with Dieter. Another woman calls out, urging her to stop standing idle and attend to a customer. In a field of flowers, Anna appears peaceful and contemplative, absorbed in the beauty around her. Suddenly, she notices a bear and questions its presence, seemingly surprised to see such a creature. Anna, with excitement, declares her intention to kiss the bear, humorously thinking it might break a curse. The bear flees, and Anna chases after it, playfully insisting she is offering a kiss. She continues her pursuit, repeating her offer to the bear, as it warns her not to approach, claiming it could easily harm her. Anna, undeterred, teases the bear for pretending to be dangerous and calls it harmless, clearly enjoying the unusual encounter. She laughingly insists she's serious about kissing it, with the scene shifting to a seemingly unrelated moment later. Anna wakes up in bed, startled and slightly disoriented after her dream. In an outburst, she screams, startled by the peculiar dream, as she sits up in bed with books and apples nearby. Internally, she questions the oddity of her dream and why she would imagine herself wanting to kiss a bear. Anna ponders the significance of a bear in her dream, seeking answers as confusion washes over her. She wonders if Bertram has any relation to her dream, revealing her curiosity and concern. Anna is increasingly baffled, realizing the thought of Bertram in this context only adds to the peculiarity. Reflecting on her earlier thoughts, she questions if her dream is linked to previous conversations about attractiveness. She recalls someone previously discussing Bertram's handsomeness repeatedly, which echoes in her mind. Anna sits pensively, contemplating her own views on Bertram's appearance and realizing her knowledge of him is limited. A male character states he is finished with the dishes, while Anna appears displeased by the interaction, focused intently. Anna considers whether she should investigate further, showing hesitation and curiosity. She observes Bertram sleeping, appraising his looks and musing over his potential attractiveness if he groomed himself. Approaching the bed with a candle, she stands puzzled over what she notices about Bertram. Anna is intrigued by a blue stone embedded in Bertram's skin, questioning its presence in bewilderment. She panics, apologizing for trying to touch the stone and pleading not to be misunderstood, stressing her innocent intentions. Anna looks closely, concerned and puzzled by the situation, uttering a quiet, "Please." As he sleeps, Bertram appears distressed, prompting Anna to address him softly. Anna wonders if he's troubled by a nightmare and feels compelled to help him, moved by his evident suffering. Anna stretches and yawns, feeling sleepy, while Carla comments on the high sun in the sky, questioning why Anna is grumbling. Carla sharply points out that Anna seems unaware of the big bear that wakes up at dawn to sweep the yard. Anna appears slightly frustrated. Carla, looking stern, reminds Anna that she must not roam around strangers, alluding to earlier advice. Meanwhile, Bertram stands by, observing the conversation silently, depicted by the questioning symbol. Anna questions Carla, wondering why she is being so critical, especially since this isn't the first time she has brought a friend home. Bertram acknowledges Anna's presence quietly. Bertram informs Anna of a guest's arrival. Anna is greeted by an elderly man accompanied by a young boy at the door. Carla explains that the visitor is the village chief, prompting surprise and curiosity from Anna. Bertram remains attentive to the unfolding interactions. The village chief apologizes for the early visit and expresses his intention to have a brief conversation. Carla graciously invites him in for tea, while Anna cheerfully calls out to the village chief, showing her affection. The village chief humorously points out Anna's small stature, noting that she remains as tiny as ever. Anna seems to enjoy the banter. The village chief acknowledges Anna and comments that her mother lives as energetically as ever. Carla agrees, while Bertram looks on with quiet approval of the familial camaraderie. The young boy seems confused and questions why Anna was nowhere to be found earlier. He is curious about her absence. Anna responds by explaining that she was merely visiting the chief and now knows everything that's going on. Anna expresses validation and surprise after realizing the young boy noticed her absence too, making her feel recognized and somewhat embarrassed, shown by her playful remark. The young boy entrusts Bertram to Carla's care. Carla accepts responsibility by showing understanding and agreement, ensuring the visitor of his safety. The village chief and his companion say they will return after lunch. Anna, watching them leave, feels intrigued as Carla mentions fetching him in the afternoon. Anna, filled with curiosity, asks Carla about the situation. Carla shares the troubling news that a wolf had appeared in the village the day before. Carla tells Anna that the village chief is gathering young men for an investigation, intending to borrow Bertram's assistance for the task. Anna seems contemplative about the request. Anna questions the objectification of Bertram's role and whether he is considered just an item to borrow. Carla affirms that Bertram's involvement is no problem, emphasizing his reliability over Anna. Anna appears slightly perturbed but resigned, knowing Bertram has already agreed to assist, leaving her with limited options. Enthusiastically, Anna promises to prepare something delicious for Bertram later. She makes sure he's planning to eat lunch before he leaves. Anna is genuinely curious about the previous night's happenings, wanting to know in detail what took place. Bertram appears puzzled and asks for clarification, while Anna stands below, looking up at him. Bertram mentions the apron, leaving Anna momentarily confused but interested in his response. Anna recalls waking up with an apron on her feet, bewildered by its presence and wondering about its purpose. Realization dawns on Anna, understanding what Bertram meant, and she bursts into a fit of laughter, finding humor in the situation. Bertram reassures Anna that the situation is trivial. He simply covered her feet with the apron to ensure her comfort. Anna smiles, appreciating Bertram's thoughtfulness and the simple act of kindness he offered by using the apron. Anna tells Bertram the apron can be used as a blanket and jokes about the convenience of having it always on hand. Bertram is relieved, expressing no concerns over its usage. Bertram offers Anna the option of using the apron anytime she feels cold, playfully noting that chilly feet can lead to nightmares. Surprised yet amused, Anna is told she looked peaceful having it as a cover, and it lightens the mood further. Anna is called by Carla for help, to which she promptly agrees, turning her attention back to the responsibilities at hand. A male character remarks that someone looked extremely cute with something covering them, reflecting a brief moment of admiration or surprise within a dimly lit space. Outside, a character shouts "Anna" towards a rustic structure, indicating urgency or the need to get her attention amid a quiet village atmosphere. Inside a cozy room, Anna is asked to deliver an item to the communal farm, suggesting her involvement in daily village tasks. Anna's mother seems concerned, asking about what is happening, while Anna energetically makes her presence known and requests the food for the delivery. Anna explains her delay was due to taking care of someone named Bertram. She expresses concern that another hasn't eaten yet, offering reassurance that they could eat first. The male character gives a simple affirmation, "Yes," in response to a prompt, perhaps signaling agreement or a confirmation of a previously discussed topic. Upon seeing something unexpected, a female character expresses surprise, while Anna casually mentions she'll be back, possibly leaving the adults to address the situation. The female character questions the ongoing situation, hinting at confusion or worry about the events unraveling around her. A utensil is bent with tension, leading to suspicions about whether the male character had any inappropriate involvement with the female character's daughter. The female character is alarmed by something related to the spoon, questioning the male character's intentions or actions. The male character offers an explanation, suggesting that the female character might not be in the best condition, potentially trying to defuse the situation. The male character apologetically seeks an honest opinion from the female character, humbly asking if he is cute, triggering an unexpected reaction. The female character reacts dramatically, and the male character is left contemplating if he misspoke, considering whether Anna might have also erred in her actions. He rationalizes internally about the situation, feeling uncertain about the appropriateness of recent conversations and interactions involving Anna. Anna receives a compliment that she is cute, accompanied by a soft, warm ambience, suggesting a tender or heartfelt moment. Anna earnestly acknowledges the compliment, reinforcing its sincerity and affirming the connection shared. Deep in contemplation, the male character questions the status of a relationship, possibly pondering the emotional and social implications. Observing a distressed wolf, they discuss the severity of an associated injury and its possible cause, highlighting concern over the damage. The male character recounts the events, mentioning it happened while carrying Anna, and villagers react with disbelief and curiosity about his strength. Amidst concerns about Anna's safety, villagers suggest that distance should have been maintained if there was danger from wolves. Another villager jokes about the situation, teasing that the male character's presence at Anna's house might have ulterior motives, showing the village's playful side. The male character clarifies the incident involved Anna ingesting a poisonous mushroom, explaining she was indeed injured, shifting focus back to the seriousness of the situation. In a conversation about handling injured people, one character is perplexed while another confidently states their knowledge, highlighting differing levels of experience. The male character reveals his experience in war zones, suggesting that his background equips him with specific knowledge in certain crisis situations. He elaborates on his insights, alluding to how an existence within war-torn areas informs his views, as listeners remain engaged and thoughtful. A suggestion to loosen up and smile more is offered to the male character, who candidly shares an inability to do so due to a war injury affecting expression. A brief, awkward pause follows with a character apologizing for speaking out of turn, indicating a moment of understanding and possibly regret. While distracted by another thought, the male character misses part of a discussion, remaining lost in his own world as others continue conversing. The elder regrets a previous comment while the male character inquires about a wolf skin, leading to confusion about what is being referenced. A pointed finger directs attention to an observing wolf, adding an element of tension or foreboding to the scene, as they acknowledge its presence. Bertram walks forward while a group gathers behind, contemplating whether to take something down, and promises to manage it without causing damage. Dito, agitated, accuses Bertram of acting cool, while a woman advises him to stop his antics. Amidst the exchange, Dito claims the ability to ward off a wolf, despite being told to stay put. A girl, exasperated, threatens to inform Dito's mom due to his behavior. She emphasizes her relationship with his mother by mentioning regular visits to her shop, while Dito counters that he might tell Mrs. Collin if she doesn't back off. A man is shown yelling at Dito to return, emphasizing the urgency with raised voices and attention. Dito is confused and alarmed, noticing something suspicious about the wolf's front paw. The wolf's front paw is revealed to have human hair tangled around it, raising unsettling questions. Bertram considers the implications of the hair but moves on, as a female contemplates her affinity for Dito, admiring his bravery. Bertram acknowledges the situation, observing Dito's state with care, while an action scene concludes in a dramatic moment. Dito expresses marked anxiety being carried, demanding to be set down. Bertram reasons it's better for his injured ankle. Bertram reassures another individual of his expertise and instructs patience. A woman named Carla is fetching a doctor. Dito feels embarrassed as others laugh, suggesting he should have let the adults handle matters, generating a strong reaction. Seeing the large wolf hide, hanging and displayed, evokes a mix of awe and disbelief from viewers. A girl is impressed by Bertram's actions, as an older man confirms Bertram's intervention was timely yet urges withholding gory details from Anna. The elderly man is taken aback at Bertram's unusual sensitivity toward certain details, expressing surprise. Anna, amid a jovial setting, confirms no recent incidents like disappearances, and the social group's mood remains light. The man agrees about the absence of incidents but worries if a city traveler might be at risk, pondering the danger. Bertram advises not to jump to conclusions, highlighting that the wolf's paw had more than just hair, indicating dirt as well. Bertram hypothesizes that the wolf might have disturbed a grave, eaten a corpse, and speculates reasons for the hair on its paw as he looks towards a cemetery. He suggests checking the paw at night for signs of disturbance, as decayed bodies can emit a blue glow, prompting the older man's admiration for his knowledge. Bertram invites everyone to drink, maintaining social harmony, hinting at camaraderie among the group. Conversations delve into adapting to village life. The peaceful environment is highlighted, credited to an effective patrol system. Responding to a query about considering Anna unusually brave, Bertram reflects on post-war contributions, praising the area's development. In a lively tavern, an old man confesses that many have feared his appearance in the past. He curiously notes to Anna that she sees him as something to fatten up, rather than being scared like others. Anna reflects on the notion of being an outsider. The dawn sky symbolizes her thoughts on not truly belonging, feeling that she is just someone passing through. The image of an inn bathed in sunlight conveys the inevitable departure Anna anticipates. She acknowledges that leaving is just a matter of time. A bustling scene reveals someone exclaiming that they're bringing a refill of apple cider. The activity suggests a lively gathering with cheerful voices blending together. Beer mugs slam onto a table as instructions are shouted to hurry and grab empty glasses. The excitement of the gathering is palpable, signaling a continuation of revelry. Anna energetically announces that round 2 of the feast is about to begin, infusing the scene with enthusiasm and anticipation for more festivities. A crowd raises their drinks in a hearty cheers, further fueling the camaraderie and the vibrant atmosphere of the gathering. 2 women notice the increasing number of guests, questioning the unexpected turnout. They realize that the village chief's participation has transformed the gathering into a boisterous party. The conversation turns to Anna's impressive ability, marveled by how she handles the elders skillfully. There's an admiration for her young age yet effective management of the situation. Anna enjoys a drink, while noticing a man eating with polite interest. Their brief interaction is wordless, yet seems companionable. As Anna approaches the man, she asks if he is enjoying the meal, to which he reassures her with a simple affirmation, appreciating the food. Noticing untouched pickled vegetables, she suggests that they pair well with bread, encouraging him to give them a try. Anna offers to make him a sandwich, expressing her intent with a cheerful demeanor. Her genuine kindness shines through. She hands a sandwich to the man, asking him to taste it and give feedback. Anna hopes the texture might improve her cooking regardless of taste. The man contemplates accepting Anna's request. She urges him to try and offer his opinion, emphasizing the helpfulness of his feedback for her cooking endeavors. Eventually, the man agrees to take the sandwich, prompted by her willingness to seek his input. As he tastes the sandwich, Anna observes quietly, showing interest in his response. She seems eager to learn from his reaction. Anna lightly teases the man about his eating style, suggesting he lacks grace. Their interaction hints at a humorous camaraderie. The man, feeling slightly embarrassed, resolves to improve. The atmosphere is relaxed, encouraging personal growth even in lighthearted matters. The scene shifts to an inquiry from other onlookers, showing curiosity about the man's reaction. There is a sense of anticipation. Anna apologizes, suggesting that he finish his sandwich despite the attention. Her concern is for his comfort amidst others' scrutiny. Dieter suddenly slams his head against the table, catching attention. He reacts defensively, citing discomfort from close proximity during the meal. The scene turns comical as Dieter is teased about possibly preferring to sit on someone else's knee. His outburst is playful yet exasperated. Despite Dieter's frustrations, Anna insists he stay overnight, dismissing his protests and encouraging him to remain at the inn. Dieter questions why he should sit next to a stranger, expressing discomfort at the prospect. His reluctance is portrayed with dramatic flair. The peaceful night sky, complete with a crescent moon, signals the end of a lively evening with everyone settling down, wishing each other a good night. As people prepare to part ways, reminders to contribute at the communal farm accompany farewells, creating a sense of community responsibility. Dieter resists the suggestion to go home, fueled by his earlier reprimand and insisting his grievances need resolution. He argues with determination, stating his refusal to leave until certain conditions are met. His frustration is clear as he defends his stance passionately. Anna interjects, noticing Dieter's apprehension about heading home alone. Her concern underscores a camaraderie that transcends their earlier disagreements. A well-dressed man is offering his hand, saying that if someone needs to go somewhere, he is ready to escort them. Annoyed, a young man insists that he will leave, conceding to the situation with frustration. The suited man discusses the persistence of another, even if he's perceived as cowardly, and decides to stay at the communal farm lodging as suggested by Dieter. Anna is surprised and questions why he would stay because of Dieter, while the suited man notes Dieter's favor towards her. The man continues stating Dieter's preference for Anna, while a red-haired woman appears perplexed by the conversation. The red-haired woman laughs loudly, questioning the absurdity of what is being discussed, finding it quite nonsensical. Anna reminisces about how Dieter teases her about needing 10 more years to marry, while the man interprets it as Dieter needing more time to confess his feelings. The suited man reflects on his ability to discern how people look at him, despite lacking emotions. The young man walking through a village claims that another is jealous of him. Anna wonders about Dieter's potential reaction to news and explains her choice to stay at the communal lodging. She inquisitively presses on about someone's reluctance, trying to uncover what's going on. The man asks if he might borrow a cloth once used to cover his foot. Confused, Anna asks about the cloth, unsure of what is being referred to. Anna recalls a cloth she wrapped around his feet, mentioning she doesn't mind if he needs it. The man affirms his request. Accepting the man's interest in the cloth, Anna decides he can keep it since she doesn't use it. A red-haired woman asks if there's anything else needed, encouraging careful thought. Under the night sky, an interaction leaves someone surprised and speechless. The red-haired woman grows furious, questioning internally why such feelings exist inside her. The woman, shocked by an unexpected discovery, is left wondering about unfolding events. She sees that something is ominously glowing, a detail crucial to uncovering deeper secrets. The sky serves as a backdrop where people in villages generally distrust outsiders, yet exceptions can occur. Trust can be earned through competence, sometimes allowing a newcomer to eventually settle. Contemplating a perilous future, the red-haired woman realizes the stakes could escalate, prompting immediate concern. She reacts to a subtle movement, alert and prepared for any forthcoming challenge. Mixed sentiments surround her. It suggests conflicting intentions and the need for strategies. She questions the man's true identity, puzzled over who he really is. Her certainty lies in the protection of her daughter, determined not to let harm come to her. Ensuring the chief's skepticism remains, she emphasizes getting someone out of the village as a priority. Contemplating silently, she utters the name Hans amidst growing resolve. Under the moonlit sky, she seeks strength to drive someone out, determined by morning, to free herself and others of this presence. She groggily questions the time, reflecting on the chaos of the previous night filled with drinking and eating, making her feel overwhelmed. She panics, realizing the restaurant has likely opened late, confused why her mother didn't wake her up. Grateful, she acknowledges the support they received, albeit at short notice, bringing a look of surprise. The man confirms that it's fine, but the abruptness of the request causes him to pause, thinking deeply about the situation. Confused, she confronts Bertram, questioning whether he is leaving immediately, finding the news shockingly abrupt. Anna is questioned about appearing in her pajamas, surprising someone with her casual attire. Anna faces her mom, Carla, who expresses curiosity about Bertram's departure, refusing to change the subject. Anna finds it sudden and is told Bertram can't stay forever. Carla mentions keeping a bachelor around just to peel onions isn't feasible. Carla explains the debt situation, stating it was decided to be repaid with a wolf she caught the previous day. She mentions Bertram agreed to the arrangement. Anna acknowledges that Bertram agreed, yet she's left feeling uncertain about what follows. The village chief plans to take Bertram to the city while selling the wolfskin that day. He aims to show Bertram a good city restaurant after receiving the money. Anna questions if that implies their village restaurants aren't proper. The village chief compares the village's apple wine favorably against city beer, suggesting they bring beer from their establishment. Bertram reassures the chief about the quality of the village restaurant, maintaining its reputation. The chief tries to justify his comments as a joke, but Bertram advises him on the importance of being careful with close acquaintances. The chief feels a bit scorned by his advice. Annoyed, the village chief decides to prepare the carriage for departure, readying himself for the journey. Anna expresses her desire to tag along, claiming she has something to sell in the city. The chief is intrigued and asks for specifics. Anna reveals her plan to sell perfectly aged sausages, seeking approval from her mom for the venture. The village chief relays Anna's intentions to Carla. Carla concedes, seeing no harm in having a few extra people on the trip. Carla finally permits Anna to go, much to her delight, as she eagerly confirms her departure. As the carriage prepares to leave, Anna confidently assures her mom that she'll return. Anna is enthusiastic about selling the sausages at a good price, ensuring her mom of her determination. Carla, while acknowledging Anna's stubbornness, feels uneasy despite having let her go, hoping her daughter returns without issues. Traveling in the carriage, the chief reflects on Anna's help. He recalls her eagerness and appreciates the assistance she offers on the ride. Lara questions Anna about Bertram's departure, surprised that the news might be true. Anna explains her own surprise, only discovering the information that morning. Lara interestingly views the trip as a learning experience. Anna reflects on Carla's decisive statement about Bertram not staying there anymore. She recalls Carla being unhappy with Bertram's presence. Bertram inquires if Anna's pursuit of selling sausages was merely an excuse to follow him. Anna is caught off guard by his direct question. Anna hesitantly responds, realizing that the small quantity of sausages she plans to sell might not cover the city expenses. Anna awkwardly denies any romantic aspirations, but Lara teases her about the possibility. Anna questions Bertram about the debt, wondering if he's convinced it's still unpaid. Bertram acknowledges the truth of their financial situation. Carla's previous words are affirmed regarding the debt situation's reality. Bertram realizes the creditor's lack of demand for repayment, deciding it's best not to press further. He declares his intention to leave for the moment. Bertram expresses curiosity about Anna's motives for following him, more than just the sausage story. Anna avoids the subject by suggesting they move on. The carriage has arrived at the city's gates, a new destination for the travelers. Lara marvels at the city walls, feeling accustomed to their presence. Anna responds with a newfound fearlessness regarding the guards. A young woman is surprised by the sight, commenting that it is her first time seeing armed people, as she observes a guard in armor holding a spear. The young woman sits next to another person, concluding that Bertram must be used to armed guards due to being on the battlefield for a long time. Bertram denies this, expressing unfamiliarity with such armament. Reflecting critically, Bertram notes the low quality of the guards' weaponry and the poorly constructed city walls, thinking they would only catch minor criminals. Contemplating Anna's constant chatter while being on someone's shoulders, Bertram sarcastically suggests she should at least close her mouth. He acknowledges that without the city, buying cloth to make clothes would be impossible. A guard wonders aloud, questioning the chieftain as another guard remarks that a certain man isn't considered a bad person. Repeating emphatically, a man states that the young man may seem slow, but he genuinely isn't a bad person. There's a query about whether he went to repay a debt to the chieftain's village. Surprised by a revelation, another man confirms that many are aware of this already. He recounts how the young man's search for a creditor disrupted their lives drastically. Reflecting on the chieftain's words, one concludes that the young man doesn't appear to be bad but questions if he seems a bit unusual. In a bustling market scene, a character named Lara is asked if she has something to sell. Lara eagerly responds that she has raw stones she personally collected, presenting them eagerly. Instructing Bertram to go with the kids, the chieftain acknowledges this. Anna mentions stopping by the tool shop, wondering if showing some muscle might help in haggling prices. The chieftain assures that Anna is adept at negotiating, so showing muscle would be unnecessary. Reminding vigilance, the chieftain advises keeping an eye out for suspicious individuals, as some people target country girls in the city. Bertram is told to act like Anna's older brother and watch over her while they are in the city. In the market, someone comments on a sausage, appreciative of its quality. Inside, a butcher offers a good price for the goods. Anna exclaims joyfully in response. Facing the butcher, Bertram is met with an inquisitive remark as the butcher seems to recognize him. The butcher observes Bertram's physique, suggesting he only eats lean meat while occasionally having some fat. The butcher warns that Bertram is getting too thin. Bertram acknowledges the concern and states he will visit the pawn shop briefly. Lara questions if he is going there to sell the stones, planning to go together. Lara protests lightly, saying her relationship with him is not too close, assuring she'll return soon. Observing Bertram moving away, Anna grumbles, understanding his anxiety over raw stones not selling well. Anna considers the pawn shop, wondering if it's the one mentioned earlier. It seems to be the only place around. Deciding to find Lara, Anna asks Bertram to stay put briefly, but Bertram hesitates. Anna reassures him, urging not to worry and promising a swift return. Inside a dim location, Anna senses an unpleasant smell as she stands near a staircase, tension rising. Anna is surprised to find something unusual upon opening a door. The room is filled with people, prompting her to question what's going on. Outside, two men mockingly speculate if the sisters ran away together, chuckling at the thought. Anna becomes alarmed and calls out for Anna Uni, growing increasingly concerned. Lara, calling for help, hears Anna's voice. Lara is near a door, trying to contact Anna Uni frantically. A man comments mockingly to Lara that men like him encounter girls like her regularly, downplaying the situation. Approaching Lara with a menacing demeanor, the man tries to reassure her about finding a good job, adding to her discomfort. "I'm sorry, I can't provide that narrative for you." The woman contemplates a predicament, thinking about whether to save someone. The decision moment hangs heavily as she ponders what to do next. She takes bold action, charging forward with determination, ready to face whatever obstacles come her way. A man, speaking with authority, instructs another to go out. The companion resists the idea, expressing with urgency that he can't go out, facing unsure fate. Filled with anger, a woman promises retribution against those she curses as wretched creatures. She vows to secure them the worst possible job. She questions a group about someone being in the worst spot and where another person might be. Before anything progresses, someone else seems to intervene. She implores them to believe her, noting that her younger brother is waiting downstairs. Her appeal includes a warning to call the guards if she doesn't return. Two women describe the younger brother, emphasizing his black hair and tall stature. Comparing him to a bear, they express his imposing presence, causing frustration for the listeners. A man dares another to check for himself, challenging him to affirm the truth. The sisters, in the background, look on with anxiety. Contemplating the description, the listener recalls the details of black hair and the blue-eyed younger brother, visualizing him in his mind. Suddenly, the imposing younger brother appears, confirming the vivid description. The man stands startled at the sight of the younger brother, questioning the appearance with disbelief. Stammering apologies, the man realizes he has been staring too intently and tries to justify his actions without appearing suspicious. Curiously, the younger brother asks if the man is searching for his sister. His direct inquiry leads to a moment of contemplative confusion. The situation clarifies somewhat, as the man recalls a young lady who visited earlier, claiming to search for a little brother. A moment of understanding seems to dawn. He appears confused and troubled, possibly realizing the implications of the unfolding events he could not comprehend. The girl is attacked by a man who accuses her of disobedience, frustrated by her defiance. His grip tightens as he reprimands her. Another man suggests restraint, questioning how often the aggressor will be bested by a girl, and advises putting the sword down. Encouragement for calm prevails, warning against the damage to goods if the situation escalates. Meanwhile, a call rings out urgently for the guards. Skeptical of the girl's claims, a man dismisses the notion of outside help, reflecting on past encounters with similar situations. As predictions linger, a sudden force slams the door open, catching the attention of those inside, bewilderment and surprise evident in their reaction. A chaotic moment ensues as the characters express shock at the mysterious force that swept through the scene. The group is left questioning the origins of the chaos, speculating about the girl's sibling while the situation appears incomprehensible. The girl calls out to her sibling amidst the chaos, seeking help. A man beside her expresses frustration as the revelation startles him. The brother, sensing the urgency, asserts he will take control despite not understanding everything, his resolve clear. Doubts and disbelief linger among the men as one questions the authority of the brother's words, only to be cautioned against underestimating an unusual opponent. The brother advances confidently, unfazed by the preceding chaos, exuding an aura of calm resolve in stark contrast to the situation. Amid the confusion, pleas and apologies echo outside as someone begs for mercy, desperate for the intervention to end. A compliment is directed at the proficient brother, admiration for handling 3 people alone, and gratitude expressed for Bertram's support. The sisters reflect on the day's events, expressing hunger. They decide to join the village chief for a meal, seemingly relieved. However, an official interrupts, requesting their cooperation for an investigation, emphasizing the necessity of the procedure, leaving the group in fresh uncertainty. As the sun sets with a sky filled with birds, a voice is heard requesting 4 rooms and meals, setting the scene at an inn. Inside the inn, Anna wonders why the guards are so ineffective, lamenting how little they accomplished even after the interrogation. The innkeeper mentions to Anna that he heard she bravely took on the human traffickers. Anna apologizes, feeling embarrassed about her behavior. Bertram thanks the young man next to him, expressing his gratitude for his help that day. The young man modestly claims it was nothing. The innkeeper inquires if the young man will stay the night and asks about his plans to return to his hometown. The young man admits he plans to stay for a bit. The innkeeper questions the young man's intentions, hinting he might be following them. Laura is excited about the restaurant's new menu. Laura teases Anna by calling her sister, despite Anna insisting they weren't that close before. The innkeeper curiously asks the young man where he's from, hinting that if it's far, he should leave soon. The narrator describes Schlesien as the capital, home to many noble descendants. The innkeeper is skeptical, having expected the young man to be a noble. The innkeeper asks the young man if he has the means to return to Schlesien, offering a loan if needed. The young man admits he has no money, humorously asking for assistance. The innkeeper sarcastically wonders if the young man plans to return to their village, giving excuses for not paying back. Concerned, Laura and Anna observe the situation. Anna points out to the innkeeper that if the young man doesn't have any money, their current situation needs attention. Someone spots a notice about the challenge, Wild Boar Feast, where the first to avoid wild boars and reach the target wins 5 gold. Intrigued, Laura asks Anna about the value of a boar, learning that it depends on weight, typically worth around 8 to 10 gold. The innkeeper jokes about relearning basic economics, teasing the young people for getting distracted by trivial matters. The innkeeper is surprised at the group's newfound interest in the notice, questioning why they're suddenly paying attention. The young man calmly inspects the notice, explaining that he's just checking the event details. The innkeeper questions his intent to participate. Expressing disbelief, the innkeeper asks why the young man would consider dragging a pig across distances for such little value. The innkeeper declares he refuses to let the young man return with such foolish plans, chastising him for entertaining the idea. The young man expresses interest in the experience of roasting a pig in the village square, suggesting a certain charm in the idea. Anna and Laura are delightfully surprised by the notion, sharing amused expressions. Bertram warns Laura and Anna not to be swayed, stating that the young man is just finding excuses to stay. He frets about Carla's response. Under the moonlit sky, a search for someone begins, with the realization that they haven't located them yet. A group of men discusses how their target might have passed through, deciding to seek local guard assistance to aid in their efforts. An imposing figure, Franz Gerhardt, the royal knight, questions what their target could possibly be doing lingering in the countryside. Franz Gerhardt, the third son of the Gerhardt Duke family, is renowned for his skill in fighting both people and beasts. He holds the position of knight commander for Prince Bertram Hertz-Bechter. Under a full moon, a voice questions Bertram's purpose in the rural village, expressing surprise and curiosity regarding his presence there. A red-haired character urges another not to refer to the area as rural, suggesting that calling it a city would encourage the soldiers to cooperate more. They argue that, with a stone wall, even the Gerhardt Duke's family would see this as the third city of the kingdom. 2 figures are talking quietly. One assures the other that no one else can hear them, while another mentions hearing about a big guy who returned today. Franz turns to face 2 companions, surprised to hear that the big guy apparently uncovered a human trafficking ring, capturing their full attention. 2 people, wrapped in conversation, wonder about the big guy wandering around to settle his debts. They recall his previous misadventures at a bookstore, noting his tendency to get scammed. A group gathered around a horse discusses how the big guy previously claimed he used books for firewood during the war. Now he aims to pay back the bookstore. The bookseller's past greed is highlighted when they discuss the trivial cost of books. At the same time, acknowledgement is given that the bookstore owner's son and his wife had become greedy. Observing the horse ridden by the big guy, someone believes the horse's value should cover the book costs. Laughter among 2 figures highlights the big guy, leaving with the horse despite wolves lurking, showing his survival skills. They concede that, even with his problems, he successfully caught the human traffickers, marking a positive outcome. Franz intervenes, demanding more details about the story just mentioned. He introduces himself as Franz Gerhardt, a knight from the capital, to the curious onlookers. Franz explains his mission, stating that he is searching for someone on the king's orders, emphasizing the need for cooperation. In a room discussion, Franz inquires about a large, bear-like black-haired man capturing them, seeking confirmation from those present. The captives admit they were taken but express uncertainty about his name since he was aggressive upon arrival. Upon questioning, a captive suddenly recalls the man was called Ram, uttering the name with a hint of revelation. Doubts linger about the name's completeness, with someone reflecting that it might have been longer. Franz processes the information silently, acknowledging the details given about the captor. A man ponders the potential worth of selling something, his thoughts interrupted by someone addressing him as the third guy from afar. Faced with suspicion, the man nervously denies harboring any foolish ideas under the intimidating presence of Franz. Franz demands the man to disclose everything about their captor, irritated that the only description given is the captor's large size. It's revealed that the big guy had 2 village girls with him, which prompts Franz to thoughtfully respond. Franz, realizing the local ignorance about his targets, instructs Eric to take further action, preparing to tighten control over the situation. Eric complies by blocking the door, while the captives react with uncertainty to the development. As confounded captives brace themselves, one wonders about another's inappropriate laughter amid the tension. The captor's strength is acknowledged, as an unexpected event shakes the captives, despite previous jokes about his brutish nature. Franz declares they should not dare to simplify the man's demeanor as just being a big guy, projecting an assertive stance. A building under the night sky stands illuminated, with someone exclaiming recognition of the place. In another location, a woman scolds the chief for drinking prematurely, confronting his behavior with a hint of exasperation. The chief dismisses the notion, explaining that it's about finding a place to rest, suggesting it's typical whenever they go out together. Anna is with an older man, and another man seated beside her. She acknowledges the chief's trust in her, while Anna is cautioned by the man not to distort this in her favor with the chief. Anna apologizes for any misconceptions. Moving to another room, the man muses that he might indeed become the next chief, indicating the chief's trust in him as well. Anna questions the lineage tradition of inheriting the chief role. Anna responds with surprise, pondering why such a title is significant in a small village like theirs. She suggests that tasks such as these are for people who thrive on tackling annoyances. While walking together, Anna notes that the chief position is traditionally held by men. She proudly reflects on her contributions to the village and imagines taking over in 2 decades, emphasizing the importance of responsibility and asking who will step up if she does not. The man questions Anna if she harbors any disdain for her hometown. Anna denies it, stating that aiming for the chief position proves her commitment. She explains her words were just expressions. Anna references the fatigue that can manifest between long-term couples, doubting if it is possible. She questions the reality of couples growing weary of each other. Still unmarried, Anna only recalls wedding vows of eternal love. These idealistic commitments are brought into question, as she wonders if time diminishes such promises. Faced with the thought of eternal vows fading, Anna and the man exchange silent contemplation. The atmosphere is laden with unspoken doubts. Anna reminisces about her parents' morning affirmations before her father's passing, contemplating that emotions transform over time. She recalls the emptiness she feels without them. The man points out that Anna's marriage concerns could stem from personal realizations, but doesn't criticize. Anna, shocked, insists she's neither married nor experienced such relationships. Anna adamantly denies any history of marriage or romantic involvement, exclaiming her lack of such experiences emphatically. The man acknowledges Anna's intensity, understanding her feelings. She apologizes for getting caught up in her emotions. While apologizing, the man reassures Anna, expressing hope that she finds a truly eternal love connection someday. Anna reciprocates the wish for eternal love to Bertram, grateful for his understanding. There's a moment of mutual reflection. Bertram kneels, processing the situation and declaring his understanding. Bertram envisions reconnecting with his emotions and meeting his future companion. He vows dedication and eternal love to them. His vow encompasses every step and his entire future, deeply impactful to Anna. Witnessing this declaration, another woman, moved and overwhelmed, vows to avoid involvement. Anna and Bertram don't understand what's being misunderstood. The woman flees, exclaiming an intention to escape the situation. Anna mentions that the advice given seemed unexpected. Bertram questions Anna if they're misunderstood, to which Anna is unsure, as both are left uncertain and confused. Under a warm light, Bertram reassures Anna, suggesting they wait together and talk since they'll have 30 minutes until the others return. The scene begins with a reflection on the concept of an eternal vow of love, mentioning that it seems the parents of someone got along really well, setting a nostalgic and thoughtful mood. A female character remarks on how casually another person talks about the concept of such deep love, indicating a sense of wonder or disbelief. The female character addresses Mr. Bertram, starting a conversation by noting that she overheard earlier about his parents' good relationship, inviting a deeper discussion about love and family. She continues by pondering how people who love each other deeply behave, hinting at a curiosity about the expressions of profound emotions. Bertram responds thoughtfully, sharing a memory of his father placing flowers next to his mother's pillow every Sunday morning, explaining the romantic gesture that didn't need tangible utility. The narrative shifts to depict a decision by Bertram's mother to stop receiving flowers due to their wilting, leading his father to start tending a small garden himself as an expression of love. He mentions that his father planted 12 different types of plants, which bloomed each season, emphasizing the ongoing dedication and care in his actions. The female character expresses surprise at such care for plants that don't bear fruit, humorously questioning the practicality of these gestures for love while revealing her own playful innocence. Bertram reflects on the depth of his father's love for his mother, and it becomes apparent that Anna doesn't comprehend emotions in the same way, revealing a cultural contrast. She candidly shares her societal experiences, noting that people in her area advise marrying within their hometown and dismiss emotions that might fade with time. She continues, stating that marrying based on emotions that may fade usually leads to getting hurt, showcasing a pragmatism taught by society around her. The scene transitions to a literary analogy involving a knight and a girl, explaining the risks young men face going to war and the disillusionment of girls who dream romantic dreams, reinforcing the earlier themes. She rationalizes the adults' words about the harsh realities where young men suffer and girls return wounded, both physically and emotionally, highlighting the societal challenges faced by young people. Bertram provides a personal note, sharing his mother's advice to distrust noble men using love as a tool, which explains the female character's wariness towards nobles. Despite acknowledging these realities, she notes that some people still pursue romance, hinting at an undying hope for love, while humorously conceding she might end up marrying a local like Dieter. When asked if she likes Dieter, she clarifies her affection for him is merely platonic, not romantic, establishing her feelings and relationships clearly. She contemplates the societal pressure as a woman in the village, hinting that marrying might bring respect, while also showing an awareness of societal norms. Bertram raises the possibility of needing to leave the village, suggesting the uncertainties of remaining single in her situation, which she considers silently. Deciding to shift the conversation's tone, she asks Mr. Bertram if he has any questions for her, after having delved into his past, bringing a lighter mood to the conversation. He admits having one question, pointing out that not long ago she called him cute, which piques her curiosity on what he means by it. Puzzled, she reflects on his statement about the timing of calling him cute, trying to recall the context. She suddenly remembers, excitedly connecting it to the moment she gave him a floral apron, inquiring if he still remembers that event, drawing a connection from past memories. Bertram reflects on it being the first time he heard such a comment, admitting curiosity about the meaning behind it, as she acknowledges his build as contributing to her initial comment. She explains the humor and charm in seeing him, a big person with a small apron, finding him unexpectedly endearing in that situation. She humorously ponders if it would have been cute had the village chief done the same, acknowledging it might not have had the same effect. Imagining if Carla did it, she expresses that she would have thought something was wrong, portraying the distinct difference in their personalities. When thinking of Dieter, she reacts exaggeratedly as she humorously vows to strangle him, exhibiting both fondness and teasing frustration. Bertram reflects on the situation, confirming that the final takeaway was indeed about him being thought of as cute by her standards. She hesitantly questions if she truly said it that way, feeling awkward yet covering any discomfort, while Bertram asserts modestly that he doesn't consider himself cute. She apologizes for possibly overstepping with too many questions, hoping to resolve any emotional tension by suggesting it might aid in understanding emotions better. The man wonders if it's possible that a head injury caused a loss of emotions. Sitting together, the woman suggests she heard of cases where people felt differently after a head injury. The man, seated with crossed legs, listens attentively. She adds that even if it's hard to believe, it might be possible. The atmosphere suddenly shifts with the declaration of being cursed. A woman ponders about Anna's well-being and how fun it could be if she and the other person resolved their issues. She imagines a romantic story between a former soldier and a restaurant owner, thinking it resembles a romance novel. She chuckles at the thought. Sitting on a stool, she wonders if she could have a similar romantic experience. She also expresses a desire to date a wonderful person before marriage. Suddenly, someone interrupts, seeking the lady's attention. Startled, the woman questions who is calling for a lady and insists she wants to see the lady too. Addressed as lady, she turns to a man who asks for her attention, but she's taken aback, wondering if he's a guard, to which he clumsily denies it. The woman declares that she stands out from the local guards, speculating if he might be a knight. Eric, identified as not a knight, comes to terms with his position, realizing that it entails noble heritage. Nevertheless, Eric affirms confidently that he is Sir Eric, leaving the woman impressed. He reflects on the small lie he told, justifying it to himself as harmless. Then, he inquires if she works at the inn. She clarifies that she lives in another village and is here to sell goods. She questions his reasons for visiting and recalls him mentioning someone earlier. Eric explains he has been gathering information door to door and unexpectedly ended up here. She responds empathetically about his apparent lack of rest. He presents a map, identifying it as a depiction of their current location. A man instructs others to search in 4 districts, mentioning a missing person in those areas. He questions about another team member's role. Declaring his leadership, he reassures them while acknowledging shared fatigue. Summoning Eric, he prepares to discuss further plans. Standing before the map, the leader talks to another about tasks earnestly, with conjecture regarding their roles. Eric is encouraged to keep up his spirits as the leader expresses belief in his abilities. Others echo support, affirming their confidence in him. The woman remarks on the busyness around them and questions Eric about the person he seems to be seeking. She inquires if it involves a criminal. Shocked, Eric denies her assumption, causing her to react in surprise at the outburst. She questions why Eric is searching for the man if it isn't criminal-related. He apologizes for withholding details but requests her assistance in locating him. Agreeing to help if any leads surface, she assures Eric of her willingness to visit. Eric thanks her warmly, expressing that he'll be waiting eagerly. Curiously, she asks for the name of the mysterious figure Eric seeks, joking about secrecy. Both promise to keep it confidential. Revealing the name, she shares it openly, Bertram. Elsewhere, a man muses about his emotions as 2 expressions, tears and laughter. A woman recounts that he promised to take away all her tears and laughter. Anna reflects on a recent conversation where she was told she looked cute, and she thinks about how special the person made her feel at that moment. Laura bursts into the room, yelling and seemingly in a panic about a situation, as the others look on with surprise. Eric tries to explain, nervously, that what just happened was misunderstood. As Anna mentioned earlier, they were simply having a counseling session, nothing more. Anna thinks about how only 30 minutes were spent on personal matters and questions the ridiculousness of the situation. Laura tells her to stop being foolish. Anna questions Laura about the reason for her sudden entrance and the urgency behind it. Laura confirms the importance of the issue but remains focused on her task. Laura reveals that someone important is searching for Mr. Bertram, prompting Anna to ask who it could be. Upon hearing the name Eric, Laura wonders if it was the same name or something similar, having been given the message to pass along if she learned anything. Bertram, confused by the name, tells Lara that it is unfamiliar and doesn't recognize it. Lara shares that the stranger describes someone tall with black hair and scruffy, and reassures Anna that they are not perceived as a criminal. Eric muses aloud about needing to remember the name, as Anna laughs, admitting he looked scruffy in the past, though he's cleaned up now. Eric comments on how searching based on appearances like clean or dirty leads to confusion, suggesting a need for better training. He hints at having been an officer before. Anna questions why a knight might be searching for Mr. Bertram, while Lara is more interested in the implications of the search and any information Bertram can provide. Bertram pieces together that the search is likely being conducted by his uncle, leading him to suspect what family matters might be at play. Realizing his family, possibly his uncle, is behind the search, Bertram reveals he has been purposely away for 3 years. Anna wonders if this means Bertram plans to return home now, as his family seems desperate to find him. Bertram asks Anna if his presence makes her uncomfortable, which unlocks a crucial moment between them. He reminds Anna of their past conversation about changes he has been experiencing, and indicates a newfound clarity. Bertram recalls when Anna called him cute and confesses that since then, he has felt a transformational change within himself. He expresses his hope that he hasn't been a burden to her, and wonders if she might continue to help him. Sincerely, Bertram asks Anna to let him be a part of her daily life a bit longer, hoping for her kindness and companionship. Meanwhile, elsewhere, a character complains about working all night, questioning people, and being frustrated by a lack of sleep. Another character notes their failures. Locals avoid them because of their uniform, and they inadvertently make things worse. Eric is given the largest area to cover, seemingly because he looks unassuming, an attempt to overcome local resistance. The group debates the usefulness of an official request for cooperation, as tensions rise regarding their methods. One suggests trying local guards for assistance again, but another protests, saying that attempt has already been addressed to no avail. The mention of a pig festival complicates their plans, emphasizing how rural customs interfere with their objectives. The group's attention is drawn to a competition involving running away from wild boars, seen as foolish by some but pragmatic by others. One character dismisses the festival as trivial, confident that their target wouldn't participate due to a preference for quieter settings. Back in the village, the festival's lively atmosphere contrasts with their mission. Someone invites people to join the pig herding contest. Reluctantly, Bertram considers participating in the contest, contemplating the pig as a potential gift, while Anna teases him about his confidence to win. A young man with glasses wonders if the prince might join the contest just to eat the prize pig, noting that pigs make excellent provisions. A blonde man dismisses the idea, stating it's nonsense because the prince couldn't eat a whole pig without it spoiling. He believes someone who values food wouldn't waste it like that. However, there was a rumor about the prince being with village women, which astonishes the young man. The blonde man suggests that the prince was temporarily with women he rescued from a trafficking ring. The young man responds with understanding, and notes he'll remember that insight. The young man reflects on the prince's lack of social skills, noting that it prevents him from making companions. Another man with red hair suggests that wording might be too harsh. The blonde man is shown interacting with several soldiers, commending one named Eric, while also advising him not to push himself too hard. The reason for including someone like Eric, who has less experience, is explained by the blonde man as an opportunity to show a promising soldier the world. Eric feels surprised that he has potential, and the blonde man confirms, stating that Eric is a good listener, unlike the cocky new recruits. Eric is uncertain, questioning if it really means anything positive, yet he seems amused by the situation. Two soldiers nearby speculate that Eric may be easy to boss around because of his agreeable nature. Suddenly, a loud knocking interrupts the scene, signaling someone calling out for Mr. Eric. The red-haired man notes that it's a woman's voice, and everyone in the room wonders about its implications. The woman asks if Mr. Eric, who was looking for someone named Bertram, is present. Eric nervously confirms his identity. Two soldiers point out that Eric's innocent face seems to work like magic in such situations. Carrot. The door is opened to reveal a smiling woman in a simple dress standing outside, suggesting she might have further news or intentions. Carrot. Eric is puzzled by her presence and situation, while the woman expresses amazement about him staying there all alone. Carrot. As Eric asks about the situation, another character motions for silence, hinting that there's something secretive or urgent about to happen. Carrot. The blonde man, alongside others, reassures Eric of their support. He acknowledges the potential fear of being crowded by men but trusts Eric to handle the situation independently. Carrot. Eric inquires the woman about her visit, and she explains she came because she heard something related to the man he mentioned before. Carrot. Eric is anxious yet hopeful, asking if she knows where the man is. Meanwhile, the blonde man observes from behind, intrigued by the revelation. Carrot. A man and woman stand at the doorway discussing an event. The woman brings up the pig festival happening in the city. The man seems intrigued and starts to question the significance of the event, especially regarding a prince's involvement. A group of men, seemingly strategizing, notice the prince is targeting sheep at the countess's farm. A sheep adding humor to the situation drifts through their thoughts. Suspicion arises among the group about the prince's actions. Although one man is confident that the prince would never resort to stealing livestock, there's uncertainty. Meanwhile, another expresses disbelief about their unusual situation. The conversation shifts back to the couple at the door. The man is unsure about the accusations against the prince and asks if there could be confusion. The woman insists she is not accusing anyone, just making an observation. The man feels let down, expressing his expectations of a night, conveying his disappointment in a straightforward manner. Checking on the man slumped against a wall, his friend inquires if he's all right, showing concern for his well-being. The festival atmosphere is captured with a gust of wind blowing through a quaint street, setting the scene for festive events. The woman confidently reflects on completing Mr. Bertram's request. A man requests her to provide false testimony to the guard, asking for her cooperation. A character ponders about a love story, walking through the town, and considers the implications of their involvement. Reflection intensifies on the targeted sheep at the southeast farm, highlighting its relevance. Gathering intel, the group discusses the improbability of Prince Bertram targeting sheep yet decide to investigate further. One man praises Eric for providing clarity on their next move. Eric feels gratitude but is caught in a moment of surprise and introspection, contemplating the situation. A character recalls a girl addressing Eric as Sir Knight earlier, questioning the meaning behind this title. Eric reacts nervously when questioned if he pretended to be a knight, contemplating the implications with a hint of panic. Surrounded by friends, Eric is urged to speak and clarify the accusations made against him. His friends await his response following the accusation. The festive atmosphere intensifies with banners fluttering in the sky and an announcement gathering attention. A woman enthusiastically announces the start of the long-awaited pig drive contest through a megaphone, rallying the crowd. The crowd erupts in excitement, filled with cheer and anticipation as the festival events kick off. A lively interaction between sisters unfolds, with one sister calling out to Lara, acknowledging her arrival with joy. The sisters chat, reassuring each other about their plans. Lara expresses confidence in having successfully covered their intentions, knowing Bertram won't catch up. An announcement invites participants to step forward. Amidst the commotion, the sisters spot Bertram, causing a mix of curiosity and concern. One sister laughs lightly while the other is left in thoughtful silence, contemplating their conversation. Lara playfully accuses her sister of liking Bertram, receiving an embarrassed denial in response. Lara marvels at the romance-like scenario unfolding in their lives. The sister firmly insists she has no feelings for Bertram, only considering him a worker and shop owner, as excitement for the contest builds. Lara panics, realizing she forgot to tell Bertram something crucial. Her sister urges caution in the contest, wary of risks involved. As thoughts trail off about being just a worker and shop owner, a sense of inevitability hangs over the scene. Chaos ensues as contestants struggle with unpredictable pigs, culminating in shouts and physical struggles. Amidst the commotion, the sisters search for Bertram, worried about his whereabouts, as they hear the shouts around them. A woman humorously observes the aftermath of the pig drive, noting the effort put into collecting fallen participants and emphasizing the importance of minimizing harm. The contest concludes. The woman acknowledges the lesson learned despite the festival's quirks, hinting that a winner has been determined. In the midst of a bustling crowd, Laura calls for applause, thrilled by the announcement that Bertram has won. Laura, standing beside her, expresses her excitement and wonders if they can return to the village and roast the big pig. Laura and Laura stand together, looking somewhat puzzled and concerned. Laura quietly repeats the name Bertram, hinting that something is amiss. Bertram approaches with a small pig in his arms, explaining that this is the prize for winning. Laura reacts with confusion, questioning the unexpected reward. As they walk, Bertram explains the situation. He mentions that the organizers were troubled when he attempted to take the pig, as there's a custom of catching and sharing it on the spot. Laura asks what kind of custom it is, while Bertram admits his mistake and replaces the big pig with the smaller piglet. Laura wonders aloud if the piglet would make a good impression on Carla. She believes it will eventually grow large, but the initial size causes her concern. Laura is now reflecting on her predicament, realizing that she not only brought back a small pig but also ended up with something they can't eat. Carla approaches, exclaiming her frustration about the cost and effort involved in raising a pig to full growth. She demands they get rid of the little bear and piglet immediately. Bertram stands silently as Laura seems disheartened by the situation, unsure of how to proceed. Bertram, understanding, decides to take action and suggests that he will go catch a wild boar. Laura, overwhelmed, insists it's unnecessary. Bertram kneels down to place the piglet safely and assures he will be back soon. Laura watches him, taken aback. Laura suddenly changes her mind and reassures Bertram that going after a wild boar is unnecessary. She thinks the situation will work itself out and smiles in an attempt to ease the mood. With renewed cheerfulness, Laura encourages Lara to join her and observe Bertram, hoping to shift the attention away from their current concerns. Bertram, still with the piglet nearby, sits appearing harmless and somewhat pitiable. Lara and Laura privately agree to his demeanor. Laura questions Lara, trying to ensure their mom might not be quick to kick Bertram out. Lara seems to reluctantly acknowledge with a faint agreement. Laura decides to handle the situation by fetching the village chief, leaving Lara behind. Lara silently waits, feeling uncertain. Lara contemplates the actions of her sister, acknowledging her persistent hopefulness, even while feeling the situation could be hopeless. Nearby, Bertram straightens his jacket. In a pastoral scene, a blond man encounters a horse and engages with it, curious about the horse's whereabouts and its owner, resulting in a startled reaction. Recognizing the horse, the blond man introduces himself as Monet, questioning if the animal has forgotten him. The moment signals a light-hearted reunion. Bertram is seen leading another horse, indicating that Monet refers to him as the horse's owner's acquaintance. The tone appears more formal. The blond man praises the horse, seemingly impressed, while a nearby villager comments on the horse's temper, noting the owner's difficulty handling it. The blond man inquires about the owner's location, expecting them to be in the village. The villager assumes this as well, creating a sense of anticipation. The blond man repeats the thought, questioning the owner's presence in the village with a mix of curiosity and concern. The village chief wakes up with a headache, wondering if he drank too much. He appears to be reflecting on his condition, questioning his decisions. Anna, seated in a carriage with others, suggests returning to the village after the festival. Bertram, driving the carriage, is noticed by the group, with curiosity expressed about his presence at the reins. Anna explains that since the village chief had been asleep, Bertram took over driving duties. This fact catches the village chief by surprise, as he processes the situation on their journey back. There is a brief disagreement about bringing Bertram back, with concerns about scolding from Carla. Bertram's drinking habits come into question during their trip. Upon arrival, the group greets Carla. Anna excitedly announces their return while the village chief carries a piglet, demonstrating a light-hearted homecoming. Bertram explains that the piglet is a prized animal from a neighboring city, emphasizing the value and uniqueness of the creature he is holding. Carla, speaking frankly, tells Bertram that he is an uninvited guest. She seems to question his intention to offer the piglet as a gift, possibly perceiving an underlying motive. Carla confronts Bertram about his return despite her efforts to send him away. She questions his reasons for coming back, emphasizing that it was unexpected. Admitting that Anna's involvement kept Bertram around, Carla expresses dissatisfaction with his contributions, labeling them unhelpful, which leads to an uncomfortable interaction. Carla tries to justify her stance to Bertram, asking him not to misinterpret her harsh words. Bertram acknowledges that he hasn't settled his debts in the village. Carla appears confused by Bertram's nonchalance as he notes the ease of tasks given to him, indicating perhaps they were too simple, sparking further doubt. Bertram tells Carla to give him more responsibilities, showing determination to prove his value, as he casually exits the conversation. A light-hearted moment arises as Anna questions how to feed the piglet. Carla humorously comments on its appetite, sharing a brief, lighter exchange with Anna. Carla recalls instructing the village chief to send Bertram away, but he has inadvertently allowed him to return, causing Carla some frustration. Carla argues with the village chief about Bertram's potential permanence in the village. The chief dismisses her worries, referencing past similar situations. Carla laments her growing older, revealing a desire to avoid dealing with new people and complications, hinting at weariness. Anna and Bertram enjoy playing with the piglet, with Anna expressing genuine joy, creating a sense of warmth and simplicity in the scene. The village chief tries to reassure Carla, vouching for Bertram's character, but Carla remains skeptical, questioning the village chief's judgment. The village chief apologizes for not managing the situation better, acknowledging Bertram's help with a serious issue in the city, which surprises Carla. Anna shares a joyful moment with Bertram, both pleased with the fenced area they've made for the piglet, showing unity and cooperation. Anna eagerly calls out to Carla, proud of the pig pen they've constructed, inviting her mother to see their handiwork, highlighting teamwork and eagerness. The focus shifts to the piglet with its potential for growth mentioned, underscoring its significance and connection to the city. Carla warns about the unrealistic expectations for the piglet's growth, laughingly reminding Anna of the differences in city and village resources. Bertram is assigned responsibility for the pig's feeding, a decision accepted with some surprise, showing trust in him. Anna inquires about Bertram's stay, while Carla clarifies that it's temporary, hinging on the pig's condition, which is crucial for Bertram's continued presence. Carla imposes a condition, demanding Bertram reside at the shared farm lodging rather than their restaurant, placing boundaries on his stay. Bertram readily agrees to Carla's condition, while Anna exuberantly reacts to her mother's permission, causing mixed emotions for Carla. Carla questions Anna's enthusiasm, feeling uneasy about the situation, indicating an internal conflict or distrust. Some villagers observe Bertram, questioning his actions and presence, suspecting inconsistencies in his story, reflecting communal skepticism. Bertram serves food in a restaurant, with patrons gossiping about his recent movements and purpose in the village, illustrating spreading curiosity and talk. Carla stands at the table, urging a man to eat and stop complaining. He questions why the man didn't leave and why he's back, while Carla advises him to mind his own business, suggesting that he's not staying permanently anyway. Carla explains that the man will stay only until they can butcher the piglet he brought, directing her words to him as he is shown holding a tray of food. Under the moonlight, a figure questions whether the man remembers where the shared lodging is, further offering to guide him there. The man declines the offer of help, affirming he'll go on his own. Someone suggests that Carla means well, hinting she's just worried. The man walks ahead with a lantern, joined by a woman who confirms she will accompany him. She states she doesn't mind checking the place out, and they both walk into the night. The woman expresses surprise, referring to a notorious place mentioned by those who poisoned Bertram, asking if it's the same one. The man confirms her suspicion. Concerned, the woman remarks that the place is rumored to be cursed. The man dismisses it as likely just a rumor, commenting on the cost needed to truly cast a curse. The woman, looking thoughtful, notes that the man must be speaking from experience. He agrees, indicating personal familiarity with the subject. The man recalls willingly asking a wizard for a curse, hinting at past decisions. Reflecting on his actions, the man explains that he believed it was necessary to end the war quickly, considering it the best option at the time. As they continue walking, the man contemplates the consequences if he hadn't made that choice, which might have left him with regrets. The woman inquires whether he regrets the decision, to which he states he does not. The woman notes an opportunity for change has been encountered. Curious, the woman prompts the man about checking the abandoned building, offering to lead the way while walking energetically. Breathing heavily, the pair continues along their path as the intensity of their journey is emphasized. The woman announces that they are nearly at their destination as they approach closer. With enthusiasm, the woman identifies the castle, pointing it out to the man as they both take in the sight. The setting is a castle that was once the Lord's, but it has been abandoned since the Lord died. A girl wonders if a curse is the reason for the abandonment, while a man suggests that might be true, although she admits she doesn't know for sure. The man elaborates, suggesting the rumor about a curse could be due to the unclear circumstances of the Lord's death, which the girl finds surprising. The girl reflects that when people can't explain things, they often attribute them to curses as a way to understand. Despite the chilly environment, the man points out that even if pursuers were to come, it would be unlikely for anyone to find them here. However, he admits that even so, it could be challenging to remain hidden in this location for too long. The girl comments on the presence of mosquitoes and wild animals, while he feels it might still be a decent place to hide for an extended period. Inside, the place maintains a sense of liveliness compared to the rest of the castle. The man notes signs that someone recently lived here, and the girl mentions a name, Bertram. He admits he couldn't mention it earlier but reveals that someone was hurt here. The girl discloses that the injured person was her father, Hansford. A flashback shows the girl and her father. Her father seems prominent in her memories. The man recalls her father died during the last year of the war, which she confirms. But the girl clarifies that her father didn't die in battle, hinting at a different cause. She remembers her father often visiting the location, claiming to research crops. The man inquires if her father brought all the items there, which she confirms, noting the villagers saw it as pointless. The girl shares that her father was drafted near the war's end. By chance, he was stationed in the village and fought in battle. Afterward, he returned a broken man, making his way back to the shelter. Her father was in a daze, speaking very little after his return. The girl reflects on the family's shock, adding that military commanders tormented her father after he survived. During interrogation, commanders suspected him of being a spy, but her traumatized father couldn't respond. A commander took her father back to the battlefield, seeking answers, leading to a skirmish. The girl looks pained while recalling these events, and the man silently listens beside her. She often wonders if the curse of the castle contributed to her father's tragic fate. She muses that if he hadn't come here, he might have passed away peacefully, which the man acknowledges must have been difficult. Laughing lightly, the girl expresses gratitude to Bertram for suggesting the curse is just a rumor, helping her feel a bit better. She refers to Bertram's earlier words, planning to hide if pursuers come and deciding to bring blankets later. With a cheerful "let's go," the girl seems to find some relief from her concerns, while the man follows. Suddenly, as they walk through the night, something unexpected approaches and captures the man's attention. The girl wanders through the night with a sense of realization, feeling compelled to mirror an expression she once saw somewhere. A man stands silently, lost in thought, tapping his chin with an absent gaze beside himself. Bertram speaks to Anna, while she smiles happily, as Carla enters carrying a basket. Carla observes Bertram and Anna, noting how they seem inseparable now that Anna is growing up. Carla worries silently, questioning if Bertram might develop feelings for her daughter. She dismisses the thought as unlikely, yet can't shake off the idea of Bertram noticing Anna. Bertram asks Carla where he should clean next, and she inquires about his age, eyeing him carefully. Bertram reveals he's 25, surprising Carla, who thinks he should consider marriage. Carla suggests he should reassure his family about marriage, but Bertram explains his uncle will decide. Bertram shares his family's fate, entrusting his uncle with such decisions, acknowledging Carla's reaction. As Bertram prepares to leave, Carla halts him with an urgent call to wait. Carla hesitantly asks Bertram if he finds her daughter pretty, leading to a moment of awkwardness. She admits Anna doesn't resemble her parents, yet assures herself Anna isn't unattractive. Bertram tells Carla she is beautiful, but realizes it's not the reassurance she sought. Carla presses the question, wanting to know if Bertram thinks Anna is pretty, while he hesitates to answer. Bertram reflects that he only thinks about Anna's crown, leaving Carla exasperated. Carla proposes Bertram see Anna to confirm, but he dismisses the idea, not wanting the fuss. Carla assigns Bertram another task, and he agrees, deciding to keep her earlier words a secret. Carla, puzzled, questions the intent behind Bertram's choice of words. Bertram warns that Anna would feel hurt knowing her mother thinks she doesn't look alike, vowing silence. As Bertram departs, he reassures Carla by keeping her secret, though she is left bewildered. Carla remains frustrated by how Bertram's words affect her, feeling as though he toys with her emotions. She bursts out, wondering why the crown defines Anna's cuteness while Anna hears her mom's shouting. A girl kneels beside a small pig, commenting on its luxurious life, enjoying walks. A man is standing next to her. Reflecting on the aftermath of the war, the girl mentions the restrictions they faced, locking up even animals. She questions if it is safe now, but the man's attention shifts elsewhere. Curious about the morning conversation between the man and her mother, the girl wonders what was discussed. The man admits the mother seemed angry but reflects that he might have made a mistake. The girl is surprised the man noticed the anger, and he explains how emotions can be read. He seeks to assure her mother of his intentions. Acknowledging that the mother might fear his presence, he expresses a desire to clarify that he poses no threat. Anna responds enthusiastically, calling his name. Bertram is taken aback as Anna insists he listen carefully, telling him he is not frightening at all. Teasingly, Anna describes Bertram as appearing weak and harmless despite his size, leaving him questioning her statement. Bertram muses over being harmless, and Anna confirms it, urging him to stop proving what is already clear. Bertram reflects that attempting to prove his innocence only raises more suspicion. He pauses thoughtfully. Anna encourages Bertram to confidently believe in his harmlessness, recalling her sincerity when she called him cute. Bertram protests, finding it difficult to accept his harmlessness. Anna, frustrated, insists that she approached him because he seemed safe. She asks why she would talk to him otherwise. With resolve, Bertram decides to embrace his harmless and cute nature, choosing not to prove it anymore. He acknowledges this change with determination. Carla calls out to Bertram from the house, highlighting the morning scene with the house quietly looming. Carla directs Bertram to finish cleaning and prepare ingredients, clearly managing the household tasks. Carla notices something amiss upon entering, questioning the scene of an unattended mop and bucket. Puzzled by Bertram's absence in the middle of mopping, Carla wonders aloud about his whereabouts. Anna interrupts, mentioning the missing ingredient for soup. Anna expresses surprise at Bertram's continued absence. Carla explains his intention to briefly visit the communal farm while cleaning. Concerned, Carla ponders why Bertram has not returned as promised, revealing her doubts. As Carla decides to visit the farm, Anna protests, worried about the timing with lunch preparations. Ignoring Anna's calls, Carla rushes out, leaving a sense of urgency in her wake. Carla reflects on a rumor about treasure at the farm, but fears Bertram may have gotten into trouble if he was drawn there. Frustrated, Carla regrets not making arrangements for Bertram earlier, feeling she could have prevented the situation. Approaching the farm, Carla is struck by the unexpected number of people, sensing something significant has happened. Spotting Dean, Carla urgently inquires about the commotion, drawing his immediate attention. Dean hesitates before pointing out the situation to Carla, who is worried someone might be hurt. Carla observes that a goat chase involving wolves has left some people slightly injured, but hopes the damage is minimal. Dean reassures Carla, expressing gratitude that her worker managed the wolf situation without further harm. Bertram stands confidently with a captured wolf, unharmed, garnering admiration from those around him. Recognition from a distance, as someone waves and calls out to Bertram, marking his successful and heroic actions. The scene begins with a man exclaiming to Bertram that someone's lady is approaching. Next to him, a woman named Carla is depicted, appearing displeased. Carla notices a man running towards them from a distance, expressing clear frustration with a sigh. The running man apologizes for being late and mentions heading to the restaurant immediately. As the man reaches Carla, he repeats that he will go straight to the restaurant. Carla stands with her arms crossed, watching him intently. The man asks if he should start preparing the ingredients. Carla's focus shifts as she notices his injured arm, leading to a moment of realization. Carla, addressing the man directly, expresses concern over his injury. She seems attentive to his well-being. Carla accuses Dean of lying about not being hurt, expressing annoyance. The other man responds, saying Dean is not his responsibility and hints at frustration. Carla insists on taking responsibility herself, mentioning a first aid kit in the public farm dormitory. She tells Bertram to follow her despite his protest that he's fine. The scene transitions to an image of a building, followed by a close-up of bandaging on Bertram's arm. Carla is silently tending to him. Carla assures Bertram that she's bandaged him for now but insists he should let her know if it worsens. She offers to accompany him to a nearby village, suggesting he rest from restaurant work. However, Bertram insists that he can manage. Bertram asserts his capability to continue working, but Carla cautions him, mentioning that onion juice might aggravate his wound. She urges him to stop downplaying the situation and listen to her advice. With a resigned tone, Bertram softly acknowledges her concerns, seemingly agreeing to follow her guidance. Carla, somewhat confused, asks if it's all right for Bertram to visit the restaurant, indicating a lingering question she has. In response to Carla's question, Bertram explains he used the term visiting casually and without a specific reason, leaving Carla pondering over his choice of words. Carla, looking mildly exasperated, states that if Bertram needs a reason to visit the restaurant, he can use Anna as his excuse. The attention turns to Bertram as he softly calls out Carla's name, indicating an intention to discuss something important. Bertram queries if Carla dislikes him, expressing concern over the indirect nature of his question. He suggests that if he'd been more straightforward, Carla's response might have been just as indirect. Carla replies honestly, stating that she doesn't dislike Bertram, but she finds his unpredictable nature challenging to embrace wholeheartedly. Carla expresses distrust, questioning Bertram's true identity and leaving doubts about their relationship. Bertram reveals his identity as a former officer intending to repay a debt to Hans Bert. Carla, however, finds this explanation suspicious and challenges his motives. Carla questions why Bertram, a former officer who could have lived a better life elsewhere, chose to repay a seemingly insignificant debt in an unfamiliar place. Bertram admits that it might seem natural to suspect ulterior motives, while a female character urges him to stop proving his innocence unnecessarily. Carla advises Bertram to simply accept that he's perceived as harmless. Bertram reflects on this, agreeing not to attempt further proof of his nature. Despite Carla's words, Bertram resolves to continue contributing to village life through pig farming and assisting with the restaurant, regardless of Carla's opinion. Carla, confused, asks Bertram what he suddenly means by his declaration, reflecting her mixed feelings towards his decisions. In a sudden proclamation, Bertram requests acceptance and love from Carla, urging her to see him for who he truly is. Carla responds with surprise and reluctance, questioning Bertram's assertive plea. Bertram insists that Carla's daughter accomplished something similar, leading Carla to question what her daughter has been told. Carla expresses her frustration, saying she'd rather talk to a wall than continue this conversation. The man insists, asking if she will now agree to adore him, to which he sternly instructs her to be quiet. As the dialogue continues, he suggests she take a rest. He asks her to pass a message to the vigilantes if she meets them on her way back. He believes he has discovered why the mountain goats and the wolf pack descended into the area. Carla questions his statement, expressing surprise. He confirms it simply. He then explains that while handling the wolf carcasses, he noticed an injury on one of their hind legs. A scene depicts a group of riders driving white wolves, suggesting they've been chased by humans, which compelled them toward the village. Carla reflects on the clean cut of the wound, which suggests a soldier may have attacked the wolf. She mulls over this, acknowledging it but also reassuring that it's probably nothing serious. He speculates that the wolves were driven by a nobleman escorted by soldiers passing through the area. This revelation troubles him as such high-ranking visitors to the village seldom bring good news. Another character, a girl with blonde hair, appears puzzled, surprised by the mention of a nobleman passing through. This girl, cheerful and welcoming, asks a newcomer if they're searching for a place to eat, to which the newcomer seems unsure, merely echoing her question. Riding a horse, the newcomer contemplates the presence of a restaurant in the village and asks her identity, noting she seems unfamiliar with the area. Introducing himself as Knight Franz Gerhardt, he dismounts and tells her he is searching for a man named Bertram. The girl appears blank, not answering immediately when Franz inquires if she knows anything about Bertram. Franz is persistent, leaning closer to the girl as he repeats his question about Bertram, addressing her as "little lady." She asserts that she's no child and questions the relevance of his inquiry. Franz considers it important, reminding her of his years beyond 20 and expressing dislike for being treated like a child. Facing an assembly of people, Franz finds the situation unsettling as the girl insists she's an adult despite her youthful appearance. Acknowledging her statement, Franz offers an apology and repeats his inquiry, making clear he's searching for Bertram. The girl responds with mock fear, wondering if Bertram is a dangerous criminal, which perplexes Franz. Offended, Franz accuses her of making absurd comments, while the girl is left confused, and another character appears to address Sir Franz. Franz clarifies that Bertram is not a criminal. However, when she questions why he's searching for Bertram, he says it's classified information. Another girl internally reflects on a previous mention of a knight searching for Bertram and ponders if the situation is serious now that it concerns a knight. The first girl, planning to stall the search for Bertram, claims ignorance of the person. She tries to divert the knight's attention, offering them a meal at their restaurant. Franz declines the invitation, stating he has neither the time nor the inclination to waste at mealtimes. He listens as she promotes the restaurant as the village's hub for local conversation. Joining his companions, who express thirst and hunger, Franz relents and agrees to eat, requesting water for the group first. With a hint of irritation, Franz consents, while the girl enthusiastically promises to fetch fresh water from the well. She orchestrates the group's actions, pointing the way to tie the horses at the stable while guiding them forward. Privately, the girl admits her attraction to Franz's handsome appearance, likening him to a storybook prince, despite her mother's likely disapproval. Inside the restaurant, she engages with Franz and his group, offering the house specialties while he asks for something simple in 5 servings. Frazzled by the knight's dismissive attitude toward their menu, the girl harbors a desire to confront them for their arrogance. A table laden with dishes captures everyone's excitement as they exclaim their eagerness to begin eating, appreciating the spread. As Franz inquiries about the restaurant's typical busy hours, an older man enters, jovially calling out to Anna while expressing hunger and irritation at missing breakfast. Anna teases the man about his atypically warm greeting, countering his self-consciousness with playful banter, eager to serve him a meal. A man named Franz, a knight of the capital, greets an older man in the village, and mentions he's looking for someone. The older man is curious about who Franz is. Franz introduces himself as a knight and expresses his intent to ask a question. Franz explains that he's looking for a large man named Bertram and inquires if the older man knows him. The older man appears intrigued by Franz's search. The older man expresses surprise at the mention of Bertram and asks whether he's an accused criminal. Franz assures him that this isn't the case and adds that soldiers stay there, so Bertram might be around. Franz is asked why he should share any information, to which he responds by questioning what he gains if he shares any details. Franz reminds the older man of his duty as a knight, serving the nation, indicating that cooperation is expected. The older man, skeptical, comments on the deceptive nature of such statements during war times. Finding it hard to get a straight answer, Franz notes the consensus of the village. The older man reveals himself to be the village chief. Franz decides he needs to consult with him about their ideology. The young woman serves food to the village chief, and he expresses surprise at how quickly it was prepared. She cheerfully tells him to enjoy his meal. Franz asks the woman named Anna if it's possible to get a meal immediately. She seems surprised by his request. Franz, observing the situation, comments internally about the number of people he could potentially ask for information besides the chief. Franz introduces himself once more to a woman and explains his mission of searching for someone, as a group of people receives their meals. Franz urges everyone who has finished eating to resume the questioning promptly, as food is distributed among them. The people decline more food, saying they're full, but the woman insists it's not polite to stay without ordering anything. They agree they'll consume it later. Franz, addressing an older man, reiterates he is searching for Bertram. The older man welcomes him as a customer, and a call for fried onions is heard. A younger man approaches the older man, addressing him as the chief, indicating some urgency. The chief quietly acknowledges that he's aware people are searching for Bertram. He instructs the younger man to inform Bertram about the nobleman's inquiry. One of Franz's companions informs him that fewer customers are visiting, to which Franz agrees and decides to conclude their business there. A woman provides Franz with the total as he prepares to settle the bill, which is unexpectedly high. The woman questions Franz about his reluctance to pay, reminding him that the station ceased catering to soldiers years ago. Franz argues that the price is unreasonable, stating she served food they hadn't ordered. The woman quietly explains that she cooked as she normally does, seemingly distressed by the situation. Franz reluctantly agrees to pay. The woman gratefully thanks him with a smile. As Franz leaves, the woman wishes him to return, but Franz pauses to address her once more. Franz calls out to the young lady, preparing to offer some earnest advice as he approaches his horse. He suggests she should be more attentive to removing the unpleasant taste of onions. The woman defends herself by saying it's due to circumstances but acknowledges his point. Franz bids farewell with a casual wave, leaving the woman and others behind. The scene shifts to Franz by his horse, expressing his frustration at the situation and calling himself an insufferable jerk. The scene begins with a sense of frustration, as someone feels that everyone is conspiring behind their back. They express their irritation with the situation and wonder why it feels this way. In a village setting, a man in a distinguished blue coat hears his name called. He's asked if something is troubling him, suggesting a betrayal vibe, and the conversation centers around a mysterious issue. The man in blue glances at a group gathered at a table. Their whispers hint at plotting or discussing something hush-hush, amplifying his paranoia about being the subject of their conversation. Franz is looking for Eric, feeling uneasy about his absence, and wonders where he went. A woman, suggesting that Eric might be by the stream, mentions sending him to ask questions earlier. By the stream, Eric is frantically scrubbing laundry to remove hoof marks, while others urge him to work faster. Their focus is on cleaning and ensuring no trace of hoof marks remains. Suddenly, Franz yells at Eric, questioning what he's doing there. Startled, Eric responds hesitantly, explaining that he's gathering information, caught off guard by Franz's tone. Franz, infuriated, demands to know what information could possibly be in the laundry. Eric apologizes, saying it was an accident that Monat trampled the laundry, showing tension between them. Franz, while examining a paper, suggests if Eric is busy to leave the rest of the tasks to him. Eric, about to protest, stops as he recognizes a voice in the background. Franz approaches a lady whom he suspects might have given Eric important information about Bertram previously. He speaks directly to her, curious if they have met before. The lady, somewhat flustered, confirms she doesn't remember meeting Franz but recognizes his voice. This sparks a moment of recognition between them. Franz comments on the lady's unexpected cuteness, catching her off guard. Meanwhile, Eric notices Franz's typically cheesy demeanor, which he reserves for interactions with women. Franz, trying to gather more details, asks the lady about Bertram. She reacts with discomfort, urging him to stop his overly charming behavior. The lady accuses Franz of attempting to seduce her with sweet words, suspecting more devious intentions. Franz quickly clarifies that he didn't mean it that way, trying to backtrack. Franz is taken aback by the lady's accusations of preferring easy targets over difficult ones. He exclaims that these assumptions aren't true, raising his voice in defense. Franz decides to bypass formalities, straight up asking about Bertram. He insists she's the one who told Eric about Bertram's plans, aiming to get straight answers. Franz grills her about misleading information regarding Bertram targeting a pasture. She replies defensively, claiming innocence and insisting she only shared what she heard. The lady, overwhelmed, insists she only conveyed what she heard, sounding genuinely confused. Franz realizes the harshness of his approach and apologizes for being forceful. Frustrated but composed, Franz tells Eric it's time to leave. The lady remains concerned, watching them depart as Eric seems hesitant, but eventually complies. As they prepare to leave, Eric hesitates, addressing Franz with uncertainty lingering in his voice, prompting Franz to reflect on their plan's practicality. Franz questions the practicality of clashing with locals without clear outcomes. He suggests getting the laundry back home, emphasizing their temporary stay in the village. Franz instructs Eric to look after Monat, stressing its significance as a national treasure and warning about its potential losses' severe consequences. Eric acknowledges, taking the responsibility seriously. Reflecting on past efforts, Franz recalls the difficulty in reclaiming property from a bookstore, suggesting the high stakes involved in their current mission. There is concern about their actions without royal permission. Franz reflects on the value of a national treasure like Monat, indicating lingering tension with Bertram. Franz envisions the treasured Turklang Fenrir's cloak, understanding its importance. He knows the urgency in stopping Bertram from further reckless actions. The narrative shifts to someone questioning Mr. Bertram about using expensive clothes for cleaning. Bertram reassures them of its utility in dusting, hinting at a casual, confident demeanor. Franz urges immediate action if anyone sees the majesty, assuring he'll bear the consequences. His determination to resolve the situation is clear. Affirming their resolve, they utter agreement to Franz's orders, ready to follow through with the plan as they prepare to move on. The group encounters Bertram, who is taking a break while working. His presence prompts Franz and his men to react, indicating they have found who they were seeking. Bertram confirms he's fine despite an injury, curious about the commotion. His intention is simply to join them for a meal, showing a sense of normalcy amidst chaos. Franz mentions an upcoming meal, including Bertram and Anna. They ponder Anna's whereabouts, knowing she usually delivers meals to the communal farm, completing this segment on a casual note. The man notes that today someone is strangely late, leading them to decide to cook for themselves. Another man acknowledges this observation, implying the need to adapt their plans for the day without the missing person. Concern arises about whether something in the village is preventing a certain person from coming. The man details a discussion he had earlier, revealing the possibility of a noble's arrival affecting the village's dynamics. This news surprises another character, highlighting the gravity of the situation. Thoughts drift to the wolf pack that descended into the village, speculating that the noble's guards might have forced the wolves from their territory, causing unrest. A strong dislike for nobles is expressed, rooted in experiences of high-ranking individuals visiting the village, which always resulted in problems. The conversation touches on the village's past requisitioning during the war. The man recalls events from the prisoner exchange after the war, pointing out how some injured soldiers mysteriously disappeared at that time, suggesting a deeper mistrust of the noble class. An incident is recounted where nobles came under the guise of investigation, creating turmoil. This event adds to the resentment the villagers feel toward nobility, showing a clash of power and class. The story continues with the nobles demanding resources from the villagers, illustrating the imbalance in how the nobles treat commoners. A prior incident of a charming noble causing trouble is also remembered, stoking anger. The man vehemently expresses his intent to retaliate if those noblemen return, stating he would bury them, a strong metaphor for revenge. Another character supports this sentiment. Meanwhile, Mr. Bertram silently contemplates, ensuring he must not reveal his identity. Mr. Bertram repeats his resolve to maintain his anonymity. Suddenly, someone calls out to him, prompting his attention toward the approaching figure. Mr. Bertram turns to see someone urgently seeking his attention, asking if something is wrong. The newcomer requests a moment to converse privately, hinting at pressing news. Information is conveyed that distinguished people are visiting the village, seeking Mr. Bertram. The notion of keeping one's location a secret becomes more urgent. The informant explains that while efforts are being made to delay these visitors at the restaurant, they may have already departed. Mr. Bertram is advised to hide to avoid being caught. Mr. Bertram queries if among those visitors is a notably handsome man, possibly the one they're concerned about. The newcomer recollects one man in particular, a blond fellow whose looks alone might earn him wealth, perhaps fitting Mr. Bertram's description. However, pointing out the character of this man, it is noted that his temperament suggests he might not stay long even if traded for cash, identifying him as the person Mr. Bertram seems wary of. Franz is informed that the sun is setting, acknowledged by others as they sit with their horses, indicating a pause in their activities. Despite acknowledging the time, Franz proposes resting and continuing the search the next day, leaving some in the group confused by this decision. An elder questions the group about their lingering presence as the day wanes, which stands out against the setting sun. The village chief is addressed directly by Franz, who questions his presence during the late hour, showing the chief's mild disbelief at their continued stay. Responding to Franz, the chief mentions the danger night brings with wolves in the area, suggesting a cautious retreat for the evening. With the revelation of needing a place to spend the night, the group faces the problem of finding an inn, met with surprise due to the rural setting. The elder explains there is no inn in the countryside but suggests there might be an alternative if they can accommodate the group's horses, offering a well-priced option. As a cheerful woman welcomes the distinguished guests again, her warmth contrasts with the group's search, hinting at familiar relations and past visits. In a cozy room, a man with a warm smile tells Anna that the room upstairs has blankets prepared, inviting her to use them later if needed. Anna and her friends are presented with complimentary snacks. She expresses gratitude as everyone seems amazed by the gesture. Anna is asked if she runs the restaurant alone because it was busy earlier. She explains that she runs it with her mother, who had to go somewhere that day. A question is posed regarding someone mysterious. The man, distant from Anna, reveals there were no clues, suggesting that this person might already be dead. The man firmly denies the person's death, saying they wouldn't die so easily. The group listens silently. Anna ponders about the search for Mr. Bertram, wondering about the significance of their pursuit. She asks if the person they're looking for is someone important, maybe a noble. The man clarifies that Mr. Bertram is not a noble, but commoners need to handle the situation carefully. Silence follows, perhaps due to the weight of this revelation. The man explains that Mr. Bertram is under contract with a noble, which they left unfulfilled. They pursue him now with the legal right to use force, and there's a reward for his capture. Anna, appearing indifferent, asks the knights how long they plan to stay. The The knight states their stay extends until they capture Bertram. Anna acknowledges their importance but finds their presence uncomfortable, and the knight guesses the reason might be knowledge of Bertram. Anna, startled, changes the subject lightly, hinting at needing tasks in the kitchen to cover her discomfort. As Anna turns to leave, the knight grabs her wrist, demanding honesty about her knowledge of Bertram. A woman, possibly Anna's mother, scolds for not turning off the lantern, unaware of the situation involving the knight. The mother confronts the knight, questioning his actions towards Anna. She remarks sarcastically about knights needing a few drinks before behaving. The knight introduces himself as Franz Gehart, a knight and son of a prominent duke. The mother notes the distinguished lineage. Franz reflects that the mother is quite temperamental, but ultimately, he decides it doesn't matter much. The initial meeting wasn't impressive. The mother seeks to resolve the misunderstanding but warns Franz against charming his way out. Confused by the accusation of acting all handsome, Franz offers to handle the guests so Anna can hurry inside. The mother prevents Franz from leaving abruptly, questioning his reason for chasing after her daughter instead of answering. Franz, realizing the irony, politely asks for release, offering apologies for his earlier actions. The woman, revealing her name as Carla Vert, identifies herself as someone bold enough to restrain a noble knight. Anna decides to offer fine wine to the knights to compensate for earlier rudeness. Anna is seen at a window, conversing with someone who has been hiding. She reveals that distractions keep their pursuers occupied at the restaurant. Cheerfully, Anna explains she hurried over, concerned they might starve while waiting for a meal. Through a window, a plate of food can be seen, suggesting hunger was not an issue during the wait. Anna blushes as someone admits they weren't starving but eagerly awaited her meal. Embarrassed, Anna downplays her food, but the other person insists they were genuinely waiting for her, not just the meal. In a heartfelt moment, Bertram admits to waiting not just for the meal but for Anna herself. There's a simple yet profound admission of waiting for Anna. Holding hands, they comfort each other, with assurances that townspeople are committed to hiding Bertram from his pursuers. A man stands quietly, seemingly lost in thought as his name, Mr. Bertram, is whispered in the air, calling for his attention. The scene shifts to Mr. Bertram sitting beside a woman, who at first is concerned but then brushes it off, saying, "Never mind." She contemplates aloud that the longer the pursuers stay, the more restless the villagers become. Eventually, they might send her away, forcing them to head toward a cursed castle. Mr. Bertram assures her that regardless of where she goes, he will ensure she has food. He refers to her as Miss Anna, showing his commitment. A sense of introspection looms as the question, "What am I to you right now?" echoes within the confines of a dimly lit room. Anna hesitates before addressing Mr. Bertram, pondering the meaning of his question and stating her genuine intent to understand how he perceives her. Mr. Bertram reflects on how Anna has cared for and sheltered him. He acknowledges her efforts to help him understand his curse. Initially, Mr. Bertram believed her help was driven by sympathy, but now, even with the danger of soldiers, she continues to assist him, signaling something deeper. He admits fearing that he might start taking her help for granted, a thought that frightens him as he gazes out a window under the night sky. Anna counters that he seems fearless, to which Mr. Bertram admits he doesn't completely feel that way. The warmth he experiences seems precious to him, and he contemplates what it would mean if it vanished, holding onto that comforting thought. Mr. Bertram compares such a loss to a cold night, apprehensive of a day when he might regret something crucial. Anna playfully critiques his poetic expression, humorously suggesting that he doesn't typically articulate such emotions. She acknowledges his efforts to communicate. Anna pauses, contemplating how she truly feels about Mr. Bertram, and begins to express her thoughts. She admits to not fully understanding her motivation to aid him despite the chaos soldiers bring, and her uncertainty about her emotions. Anna confesses her fear of the soldiers and how they remind her of past conflicts. Yet, more daunting is her fear of Mr. Bertram's departure. Contemplating her uncertainty, She realizes she doesn't know what Mr. Bertram signifies to her yet. Anna requests time to discern her feelings, hinting at the complexity of her emotions surrounding Mr. Bertram. She implores Mr. Bertram not to leave, an earnest plea emerging from the depths of her heart. With a gentle smile, she expresses her desire to journey deeper into understanding him, hoping to grow closer. The image shows a wooden mug on a dining table, evoking a sense of dissatisfaction after a meal as someone expresses their displeasure with an ugh. At the table, Burke complains about how hard life is, while Orla scolds him for drinking excessively. Sieghart tries to ease the situation but jokes that Burke should stop drinking, questioning the hardship leading him to drinks. Burke, frustrated, blames Sieghart for why life is difficult. He exclaims that serving Sir Franz is particularly challenging, eliciting surprise from Sieghart, who questions what he did wrong. Orla explains how they have to manage the chaos Sir Franz causes in social circles. Burke asks her to stop emphasizing Sir Franz's womanizing ways that lead to confrontations with angry women. The picture illustrates the extremes people go to find Sir Franz. Some bring cookies with flustered expressions, while others appear menacing with an axe, highlighting the tension surrounding him. Sieghart, with a touch of humility, acknowledges his attractiveness, suggesting he could stop being handsome to avoid causing trouble, met with Burke's disbelief at such a notion. Orla expresses her disappointment, labeling someone as pathetic, with a young woman standing in the doorway appearing confused by the comment. The young woman faces a scolding from Orla upon her late arrival. Orla questions what took so long since her only task was to deliver a meal to a man, prompting an awkward explanation. The scene shifts to a dimly lit room with sunflowers. The atmosphere is filled with rumors about Mr. Bertram, who vanished to repay war debts. The conversation continues, speculating about Mr. Bertram's prolonged absence and how his uncle, his only family, seemed to pursue him. They question the morality of the uncle's demands. The young lady reflects on Bertram's disregard for status. Despite this, Orla remains skeptical about his intentions, pointing out the oddity of his actions. Dismissing Bertram's reasoning as a convenient excuse, Orla is convinced he's hiding something. She instructs the young woman, calling her Mom, to handle Bertram the next day. The young woman contemplates Orla's proposal. Orla insists she inform Bertram to leave the village as protection is uncertain and might change suddenly. Anna, the young woman, feels uneasy with knights nearby, noting their presence disrupts farm work. Despite initial kindness, she's wary of their potential for violence. Meanwhile, Burke, Sieghart, and another man sleep in a shared bed oblivious to the knight's worries while dreaming peacefully. Anna receives further instructions to tell Bertram he needs to leave during breakfast. Though hesitant, she agrees, not thinking poorly of Mr. Bertram herself. Deep in thought, Anna ponders her next actions, resting her chin on her hand, a flickering candle nearby intensifying the contemplative mood. The dialogue shifts as a shadowed figure expresses hope. They appreciate Anna's desire to understand more deeply, finding it encouraging. Anna sits by a desk, wishing that mutual understanding would even out the burdens they share, as a sense of relief drifts through the room. In the early morning glow, Anna faces a basket full of onions. Her frustration grows as she questions why there are so many to peel. The lack of workers exacerbates her annoyance. She mutters that because of some men in the village, she struggles to get her work done. Orla checks in on Anna, asking if she's delivering a meal to Mr. Bertram. Anna, looking resolved, confirms her next task. Anna agrees to confront Bertram, albeit nervously. Orla reminds her to be firm, suggesting she'll exit through the back to dodge a certain knight's attention. As Anna departs, Orla stands resolute, gazing into the distance while Anna says her farewells. Sieghart encounters two women and requests a moment of their time, maintaining formal politeness with a smile as he addresses them. Chaos erupts as the women recognize Sieghart as a nobleman. They panic and attempt to flee, overwhelmed by his presence. Sieghart remains puzzled by the reaction. Nearby, Orla questions him about skipping meals and loitering around aimlessly. Sieghart assures Orla he'll eat later, cleverly complimenting her food. Jokingly, he points out how he's busy, hoping his way with words would ease her stance. Despite the compliment, Sieghart wonders why Orla remains aloof, concluding she likely does not have a favorable opinion of him, which perplexes him further. This thought lingers as Sieghart appears contemplative, openly acknowledging to himself that Orla's disapproval affects him more than he anticipated. The atmosphere feels tense, as someone suggests it's not just one individual causing unease. A character reflects that the entire village seems particularly hostile. They recall past conflicts involving nobles and villagers but consider the current animosity excessive. They ponder if there might be another reason, with another character attributing it to the person's good looks. A blonde man and a woman are seen together, with the woman confirming that his attractiveness might be the cause. He acknowledges this information simply. The blonde man expresses confusion upon hearing that the situation has persisted for over 2 decades. She recounts how a young nobleman seduced many village women over 20 years ago, leading to a lesson to avoid handsome nobles that has endured. They discuss how embarrassing this past event is, with no one ever catching the culprit. The only clue was the man's handsomeness, blonde hair, and blue eyes. The blonde man is compared to the culprit, noting their similar appearance. The two stand silently, with the woman asking for further information. The blonde man abruptly inquires about her father's name. She questions the appropriateness of his inquiry but acknowledges his desire to believe in his father's integrity. Yet she firmly declares enough of this topic. He explains that he's tried to be courteous during his stay, but warns that his patience isn't infinite, even for dealing with commoners. The woman indicates understanding, intending to internalize his remarks deeply, just as a group arrives, recognizing her. The village chief's arrival prompts curiosity from the blonde man about the situation and whether he has eaten. The woman declines an immediate meal, preferring to escort the visitors. The blonde man questions their destination, feeling uneasy about inactivity. A man with a scar explains that he offered assistance to the chief, who recommended dealing with wolves near the communal pasture. The chief confirms everyone is heading to the communal pasture and asks if the blonde man will join them. Surprisingly, the blonde man agrees, heading up the path, explaining that no soldier should act without a commander, even for wolves. He teasingly asks if she preferred his company instead. Grinning, Carla internally preoccupies herself with peeling onions, thinking of delegating the task, and mumbles audibly. She dismisses the thought, acknowledging the slacker unlikely to help, and resigns herself to continue. Onions fill the basket as sighs of fatigue emanate from Carla. She wonders aloud about the endless task, questioning when the onions will be done. Imagining the assistance of another, Carla thinks the task would be completed quickly if that person were present. Unexpectedly, Dieter arrives, and Carla instructs him to start peeling immediately, calling for backup as he displays reluctance. Dieter hesitates, questioning the whereabouts of some knights, learning they ventured off with the chief to hunt wolves. A newcomer questions if Carla summoned him, as she confirms her inquiries with annoyance. Carla admits her intentions, followed by calling Dieter an idiot for his actions. Frustrated, she questions Dieter's sense, while the newcomer observes. Carla confronts Dieter, suspecting he led people astray with lies. Dieter insists it was a misunderstanding. The misunderstanding involves Dieter calling Carla Mom, frustrating her further. She commands him to stop causing trouble and to help peel onions. A young boy clings to the woman's side as she mentions Mr. Bertram. The woman agrees with a simple yes as she addresses the tall figure standing beside them. The atmosphere feels tense, though details remain sparse. The woman informs the man that she has something important to discuss with him. He inquires further, questioning what it is that she wishes to say. She insists that it is not a conversation to have while standing and suggests that he sit down first, indicating the gravity of her words. Seated at a table, the woman explains the situation to the man across from her. She stresses that the knights roaming around are a burden to the village. Apologetically, she reveals her message, requesting him to leave the village due to the circumstances.